pleased to meet you. Pleased to have you on my plate. Your meat is sweet to me. Your destiny, your fate. You're my life support. Your life is my sport. I'm a man eating machine. I'm a man eating machine. You won't hear me laughing as I terminate your day. You can't trace my footsteps as I walk the other way. I can't get enough prey, eating prey for me. I can't get enough prey, a man eating prey for me. Corporate cannibal, digital criminal. I'm a corporate cannibal.
Big backwood, the little engine that could. All gas, no brake. Y'all know the keys close the case. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it. Spark up, fire up, roll up, whatever you call it. Spark up. What is the weed? What is the weed? What is the weed? Just fire the streets, please. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it. Spark up, fire up, roll up, whatever you call it. Spark up. What is the weed? What is the weed? What is the weed? Just fire the streets, please. Big blunts, I'm trying to smoke a runs. Already zipped out the guts, come on and roll it up. If you ready to smoke, come on and fuck it up. I'ma hit your wood, but I can't roll it up. It's like in surgery, you gotta nip it up. Please don't add no paper, that shit fuck it up. Y'all be adding all grab for all the extra stuff. Straight weed, and hold it extra, please. A big black, white out, give me what I need. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it, spark up. What is the weed? What is the weed? What is the weed? Just fire the streets, please. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it, spark up. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it, spark up. What is the weed? What is the weed? What is the weed? Just fire the streets, please. Pressure, put it in the air. Come on, little baby, we gon' play it fair. Right now, it should be big blunts everywhere. Come on, don't stand right there and stare. Pressure, put it in the air. Come on, little baby, we gon' play it fair. Right now, it should be big blunts everywhere. Come on, don't stand right there and stare. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it, spark up. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it, spark up. What is the weed? What is the weed? What is the weed? Just fire the streets, please. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it, spark up. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it, spark up. What is the weed? What is the weed? What is the weed? Just fire the streets, please. Catch that shit. I see you over there straight chiefin' and shit. Done sipped in the corner after hit our shit. Man, who the fuck invited this clown? Grabbing with the weed like ain't enough to go around. The bitch on these promote down. Cause everybody around here caught more than the pound. More than the pound. More than the pound. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it. Spark up. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it. Spark up. What is the weed? What is the weed? What is the weed? Just fire the streets, please. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it. Spark up. Fire up, roll up, whatever you call it. Spark up. What is the weed? What is the weed? What is the weed? Just fire the streets, please. You fire up. 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 You fire up.
I took a hit for the team. Took a bullet for the dream that we would one day all be free. Free from prejudice, free from sexism, free from bigotry. I die for creativity. I die for freedom to be free. I died and left a legacy. Oh, but baby, I still live through technology. The sun will start shining. What is the pain? As is the pain. As is the pain. As just love, just be patient. Your destiny will manifest. Yes, Bubzz.
You live in a different world.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Hello. MLK, I understand the face. I understand the face. Is this what I got all those ass whoopings for? I may not make it to the promised land with you niggas because I'm going to Canada, bitch. Okay. Anyway, What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I just got out the shower. I started laundry before I got in the shower. This is all I had to throw on, bitch. And I wasn't even planning to do this video. I just saw 2 videos and my spirit said, just go live. I have a live at 8 o'clock, so hopefully I will be done with this live by then. If not, I'm gonna have to push that live a little bit longer. No shade, because community work, humanity work always comes first. No shade. Okay? And this is helping me to strengthen my gifts and my talents and use them to not only just benefit myself, of course, but equally help it to benefit humanity. Okay? So I hope that everybody is doing well on today. What's up, boy crazy? What's up, Harold? Let me just tell you how good God, source, universe, consciousness is, okay? And I got out the shower, so I'm ashy and everything, girl. Don't judge me now. Shit, I just came back visual, bitch. Let me do me. After I did some errands today, my sister was like, she called me into the kitchen and she said, when you do, walk into the kitchen with your eyes closed. I was like, okay. I know the layout of my house, so I did. And I should grab it to show y'all, but if you go on my Instagram, you'll see it. My sister made me a custom rolling tray, bitch, of BubzDaGawd with my logo and everything. And I got my own little weed jar thing that says BubzDaGawd on it. And I had an 1/8 of weed in there from my nigga Terry that we know mutually, okay? I've been trying to resort to this damn dispensary shit, and no shade, I'm starting to have a little side eye, cause why is there so many dispensaries in the motherfucking hood, but yet there's so many niggas who are still in jail, who are locked up, girl, off of petty weed charges? What are you trying to do here? But I was blessed with that, so I got some amazing weed right here. Hold on, Andrew, I gotta give matter of fact, we gotta give Bishop Elder first. Hold on, Bishop Elder. Come on.
Oh! Aakosha. To be atuda da masika to ho. Hey, atu uba itelebekiska to ho. Atididi me. Atididi me. Tatada mansia. Apete hebeke. Oba bibiansha. Adoboko shandi diosi katabahaya. You be a falling out mother.
In everything that's in my soul today, everything that's in my soul, I'm a
Shaya. Oh, Mashanya. Oh, I feel a Shakani up in here. Shandaba.
This is for faggots.
Girl. Let me tell you one thing before we get into the live. I know how I give it. It's BubzDaGawd. Yeah, I'm not suited for everybody. That's okay. But I'm help your ass think. And you're going to at least listen to my shit at one time. And you're going to feel some type of way about my shit, whether it's positive or negative. But you'll never forget me. I'm BubzDaGawd. But what I'm realizing now, when it comes down to realizing that all things are working for your good, that even when things seem unfavorable or it seems like things aren't really changing the way you want them to still have faith. And if things start to go down a certain route that terrifies you, literally hold steadfast your vision, your feelings, what you want. That no matter what happens outside of you, you can allow that to happen, but you don't have to accept that to happen. You only accept what's in your head and in your heart, your mind and your emotions. Okay? When you hold on to that, the universe will work for you. That's why I talk so much about self-love. When you love yourself, you include yourself. And again, a lot of the commentary is fear-based, who are afraid of inclusion. People are afraid to include other people. Why? Why? Especially if you can't even validate or objectively prove your fears. A lot of people resort to using a mythical book to justify their fears. Their cognitive dissonance. And to be honest, that's a human being issue. It's just that it's showing out in different expansions of humanity. Now, before we get into this live, and I have it pulled up this time, y'all. No shade. Hold on. Hold up. Hold up, hold up. Girl, I gotta get my body in the sun, girl. I just have my face and my arms. I need to go outside with my shirt off just for one day and just let the sun just motherfucking mac the fuck out of me. Hold on. Boom. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by, I was trying to say it without looking at it, by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All the videos, songs, images, and graphics used in this live belong to their respective owners, and BubzDaGawd does not claim any right over them. Okay, so again, this is protected by fair use. I'm not getting paid for this shit. I be talking about cash apps all the time, and it really be happening. I'm about to change all that too. No shade, girl. I'm learning my worth for real. Okay, and shout out to Deshaun, because he was the last one, baby, gagged the fuck out of me. I'm walking in that energy. Come through. Yes, because my gifts and my talents will make way for me, will make room for me. And I'm helping community. And when it comes down to humanity and just the spiritual aspect of things, it's a give and receive situation. You giveth and then you receiveth. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Okay. Now, the first video that we're going to listen to on today. What's up, Queen Donna B in the house? What's going on? We're going to do a video reaction to someone that I came across on Black Men Unfiltered Network, and we've done a few lives off of her videos, and that is she's now known as Just Chill Jay, or Just Chill Out Jay. I think that's what Just Chill Jay is what I'm thinking, or Chill Out Jay. It's basically telling Jay to chill out. Let's chill. Okay, and she uploaded this video saying that the Democrats are cooked. And while I was out running my errands and stuff, of course I have my earpods in, and I'm always listening to podcasts and panels and stuff just so I can understand what everybody else is saying, because I love to be well informed about the community. That's what I think we all should do. And I do respect her in reference to sharing her opinion, coming with facts, also knowing how to eloquently get across her point, even though we do have differences of opinion when it comes down to the queer aspect and a few of the black aspects. Other than that, I respect her as a human being. I have nothing against her. I have no ill will or malice towards her at all. Okay, I am just giving commentary on the talking points, and I include subjective stuff from a spiritual perspective, but I try to be as objective as I can, for real. Harold says, breaking news, shots fired at Trump rally in Butler, PA. Trump struck, but not sure with what. And I'm gonna just say this real quick. Hold on. And again, no, my lips are not white. It is actually on my lips, girl. I just saw the video, and I hate to say this, but Chill Out Jay, in the context of that title, that the Democrats are cooked, she is right. And that just sealed the deal, that there was an assassination attempt on Trump's life. Whether we believe it's a hoax or not, there are people who see this man as their savior. Now it's about to really get serious. And if you ask me, from a spiritual perspective, it's like they got a time machine and they're trying to go back during the civil rights movement and whitewash that and remove all the horrible shit they did so that they can be the champions of civil rights. And not only just do what we did, but low-key, in a sense, try to insult the black community by telling you this is how you do it, because Project 2025. And that they'll have a leader who has immunity. This sound like shit in a movie, girl. And I'm pretty sure when you face with your mortality, it feels like a movie. It feels like it's surreal. It's not real. Your bubble of security and comfort is bursted against your will, and now you have to face the objective reality of that. which is why I also titled my live, y'all know that Project 2025 is going to affect all of Blackness, right? Including individuals on BMU who have said that Project 2025 is nothing new, that, you know, it's a scare tactic and all this stuff. Meanwhile, the motherfuckers who are saying that this is a scare tactic and this ain't nothing new, what the fuck have y'all done to survive, and why aren't we better prepared to survive this onslaught now, having better conversations to tell black people, let's figure our shit out so we can come together, instead of all this other bullshit that a lot of motherfuckers be doing. It's also going to affect our good sis, Jay. So we're going to take a look at her video, and also we're going to take a look at one of the Defiant lawyer's most updated video, which again, I please suggest that you guys subscribe to Defiant Lawyers. Okay, this is an individual with his daughter that has a law firm, a black law firm, for I think maybe 15, 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. And they help black people to understand all of the legal jargon that will make us confused and like, what the fuck does this mean? They help to break it down. And those individuals, from a lawyer perspective, from a perspective of putting in the motherfucking work, girl. Girl, that's fine. My bad, y'all. I got groceries being delivered, bitch. I love this time of shit. I don't have to go out sometimes. I can have shit brought to me. Bring it to me, bitch. Yes. But they are black lawyers who break everything down so that we as black people, especially common black people or black people who are not well versed in legal terms and stuff like that, to help us understand what's going on. And it's funny that the individuals who are on TikTok who are talking bad about Project 2025, who are doing the fear mongering, it's funny that them and Defiant lawyers, black lawyers who've been doing this for 15, 20 motherfucking years, who know how to read all the legal jargon, are saying the same thing. But then meanwhile, on certain platforms, they're going to break down what Project 2025 is. And the only consistency that they have found with multiple minds, instead of just one, or I guess really two, but just one girl, okay? All they came up with was, it's a scare tactic. And Defiant lawyers, I'm not gonna check them niggas, at least in this live, baby, because I'm gonna let everybody else do it. I'm gonna let the Defiant lawyer do that, because he also calls them out too. Okay, what's going on, baby Faith? What's going on, Queen Stevie? We just getting started, so y'all just coming in. Again, don't judge my appearance. I have shit in the washing machine I have to put in the dryer. I just threw this bitch on, girl. It was something in my closet. I just grabbed the first thing because I'm trying to get this live done as fast as possible. I might have to push back my live at 8 o'clock to maybe 8:39, because this No Shade is more important. No shade. And I love my Surviving 305 family, girl. But if Project 2025, girl, comes through, it won't be just Surviving 305, bitch. It'll just be surviving, girl. Just surviving as a nigga. Okay? But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the video. First of all, let me cut my music down. I love this song. I have a whole song that I wrote about this. I wrote to this beat, and I really want to record that one day. We'll see. Let's see. Let's try. Girl, I have a lot. Let's try the lo-fi mix, because I have more grace when it comes to women. It be these niggas out here that's gonna get the smoke. Or more aggressiveness, if you will. No shade, girl. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. Now, I will also say this. I will probably say the word bitch in my commentary. I am not talking about you in particular, Jay. Again, I respect you. And for the people who know me, they know I have very, very colorful language. And bitch is one of my favorite words. It can describe so many things. It can be said in so many different ways. So please don't take it in that way. And if you feel something in your spirit that says that, I want you to be reminded of what come out of my mouth, what I said out of my mouth. Do you believe the words that are coming out of my mouth? Okay? People really need to know. Thank you for discussing. No problem. should you watch, should you watch if Donald Trump gets to presidency? Oh, it's all over because he got shot in the ear. Oh, he's going to take revenge. The truth will set you free, but some people can't handle the truth because they don't see themselves in it. And on top of that, somebody said, girl, y'all girls are so pro-gun. Why don't you shoot back? At least the niggas shoot back. Go to the motherfucking hood and just start shooting at the car niggas, girl. They gonna pull their shit out and shoot back. These are pro-gun people. Where were the guns, girl? Where were the guns coming underneath, girl? Every motherfucking Make America Great hat should have a mini small gun holster for one of them small ass guns that shoot one bullet. Them motherfucking let's take 10 paces, turn around and buy each other. Where was the AR-15s? Where was all of the bullets and the calibers of shit? Oh, y'all saving it for niggas. Right. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into Jay's video. And again, this is from fair use. You know, it's protected by fair use. And I'm surprised I was able to get her video to download, because in the past I tried to, and I was like, I don't know what type of shit she put on her videos, but that's her lives, not her edited videos, on the other hand. Here we are today. Let's go ahead and get it. Shout out to Jay.
Oh, the Democrats are freaking out,
girl.
and frankly, I am here for it, okay? At this point, baby, we not even sipping tea no more. This is straight up liquor, okay? This is top shelf, brandy, sherry, cognac, whatever you like, whatever's your poison. That is what this is at this time, guys. We have got to count the wins as they come. You know, in case you've been living under a rock, which is...
And also, too, I just thought about this right now, because I'm listening to it a second time. For the queer people out there, I want you to, because she does not support a lot of the queer ideologies or experiences out here, I want you to listen and count how many times she uses queer references or phrases. Like, oh girl, this not the tea, girl. Oh girl, the reedy, oh hunt. Child, I want you to count all that. I want you to count all that. Okay? So she already said one. Let's continue. I'm going to let y'all put in the comments what y'all think.
It's possible considering this current housing economy under the Biden administration, but in the event that you have been, let me put you up to speed. So a few weeks ago, there was a presidential debate that was insisted upon by the Democrats, mind you, to put what I guess they must have considered to be the nail in the coffin for Donald Trump, just, you know, solidifying, once again, in their own opinion, the fact that he doesn't deserve to be president and he's incompetent and whatever else they thought was going to be the result of that debate.
And he's also a person who have done criminal things. He has spoken ill against the black community and discriminated against them multiple times, which is documented evidence. And we know that he wants to be president because it helps him to get what he actually wants, immunity. The government was about to get his ass for breaking the law. And because he is a billionaire and he has privilege, what do you mean the law? I'm above it. And these people are literally having a big drastic ass, how should I say, trauma bond situation, girl. This abusive ass relationship, girl. You give me immunity and I'll give you what you want. You keep these people from indicting me, girl, and getting me into the prison system, girl, and I'll give you all the woke warriors' heads on a platter that you can put beneath the cross. And what's so funny about some of these Christian people, and yes, I'm going to pause the live because I'm smoking some good weed, so it is what it is, girl. If y'all don't have the attention span, move out the way so people who do can come into the room. Stop blocking the way. But it's so funny because for the people who are Christian, it was so funny. Y'all didn't do it as an insurrection on Christ when he was on the cross. None of his 12 disciples niggas did anything either. The only motherfucker that did something was Peter, girl, and he got scolded by Christ. It's so funny how when Christ was getting his ass whooped and all that other type of shit, wasn't nobody trying to help him off the cross or motherfucking shoot at the niggas or bow and arrow or do some sort of Robin Hood shit for him. And it's funny that when Trump got shot, the only people that ran towards his defense were his servicemen while everyone else just stood there like, what the fuck just happened? We don't even know. Donald Trump ass could have got stung by a fucking bee in the ear.
But in typical Democrat fashion, because a lot of them are unintelligent people, it backfired like crazy. And instead, Joe Biden went up there looking like a doddering old fool, as he has for the last, well, long time.
Yeah, it just showed that both sides of the spectrum are cooked. Humanity is about to be cooked, girl. The whole bird. The left side, the right side about to be cooked. At this point, going forward, girl, I'm ready for the middle part. I'm ready for the blending part, girl. That's the part where we're missing at, girl. We trying to be too black or too white. It's gray, baby. It's in everything, boo. It's been here since the beginning of time. We have to get to that point. And I'm not saying this energy to you, Jay. I'm just speaking in general, because there's a lot of people who do share the same opinion as you and perspective. So I'm giving the energy to that, not to you in particular. Again, I respect you. I'm so happy for your glow up. Again, I already said that Jay is a very beautiful woman. She's very beautiful. I don't have to be heterosexual to know a very beautiful woman. Okay? And if I was heterosexual, I would want a woman like her. Okay? No shade.
What it essentially boils down to is, what was once something that could be ignored, avoided, if you will, could not be anymore. They cannot pretend that they don't see this anymore. So much so that even some celebrities who have been staunch Biden supporters are even weighing in. But guys, before we get too ahead of ourselves, welcome back to another episode of the Chill Out J podcast, where I do happen to be your host, J Mac, and it is a pleasure to be before you this evening, or afternoon, or morning, depending on when you're watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and tap the notification bell so that you can be alerted every single time we go live, because there's a lot of fun stuff going on and you guys don't want to miss it. Now let's get into it.
Get to a real pop-lytics.
So, first of all, clap, 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 clap. Round of applause, because I have a new camera and I have a new lens and I'm really excited. So I'm hoping you guys are liking the presentation.
Yeah,
hopefully
really
it's giving what it needs to give. Okay, so this is all for you.
One step at a time. I'm already short.
Quality experience.
Do what I gotta do.
Content. So certainly, I really hope that you guys enjoy the new camera and lens. And thank you to anyone who has ever donated to the channel. Certainly, those funds have gone towards this. Now, we find ourselves in an interesting time. I've seen a lot of videos with several hundreds of thousands of views where, there's kind of these younger people, asking random people on the street if they're going to vote for Biden or Trump. And what would have once been landslide Biden responses, whether it was a demographic kind of thing, typically when you ask, for instance, a black person, all black people just assume we're supposed to vote Democrat, the whole vote blue no matter who thing. But we can't pretend like there isn't a bit of a red wave, darling. And if I were you, I'd hop on. The reason being is not so much it's not a glorification of Donald Trump per se, though I do believe that a lot of his policies and things that he put in place during his presidency, I do agree with, and I think were very helpful towards the country. I think that it's hard to go wrong when you have an America first attitude, right? I think it's just hard to go wrong when that is your train of thought, and clearly Donald Trump espouses a lot of America first rhetoric, and he even has done things to show that that is truly his goal. You cannot put the well-being or the interest even of other countries over your own. You have been elected to preside over us, to help us to have them within reason.
And I want you to understand, and what I'm starting to understand is that all these other things about other countries and stuff, trust me, America is always trying to find a way to implement their ways into other places, or basically just do what they did when they started America, girl, colonized it. We're going to put our shit in here. Now we are the superpower of the world. We have the wealth. We have the money. We have all these things. And we've been playing bully to everybody else. Meanwhile, America can't even get its shit done at home and on a social level. Because as we learned when we listened to BMU's platform, somebody said on there, I think it was Embrace the Grace, shout out to her. She said something along the lines of, in her family, girl, religion and politics would have people ready to duke it the fuck out. pull out guns and shit, strangle people and shit, because at the end of the day, those things affects people's lives. It affects their fucking lives. And we're being told that some people just gonna have to wait. Well, it's funny that some of the people you are telling just gonna have to wait is the reason why this country was even great to y'all motherfuckers to begin with. So you want to tell, so you basically, see, y'all be talking about niggas do that shit. I feel like we learned it from some of y'all with y'all supremacy girl. Y'all are very, very known for saying, give me shit and I'll pay you back, and never do. Or literally just take shit. What's up, Fight the Evil Robots? What's going on? It's glad to have you back for another time, another round. I didn't even think you was gonna come back. And I also have it in my phone too. I'm going to upload those videos. I made sure to put it in my reminders to remind me, no shade. But let's continue with the video. Let's continue.
Best lives possible. So no, I'm not going to support the guy that's sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine in a time where this country's economy is in the toilet. No, I'm not going to support that guy. If that makes me an idiot, then an idiot I'll be.
I do agree with that aspect. Take care of home first. You can never really be good to anybody else until you love yourself. But the gag is that if they really was trying to take care of home first, America first, they would have gave black people what was owed to them. Because again, we have been the biggest contributors to the creation of this country today. Girl, my dad's not on the way. Girl, where is he at? Where's they at, girl? Oh, okay. What's up, Queen Spicy? So in that regard, I do agree with her. Take care of home first. Take care of home first. But we don't even know how to take care of home, and we can't even take care of our own fucking people. All of the Americans, girl. Certain Americans speaking about their experiences and can validate their experiences, and you tell them to, oh, it's not that bad. But then when it happens to you, then all of a sudden it's, oh my God, no, maybe we should have a community mindset going forward. So we can also fix America first from the inside out. And then from that overflow, we can help other countries, not invade and try to push our quote unquote American way over everything, but literally to say, hey, look, we actually, first of all, want to say we sorry for what we did to y'all, because America has done some horrible shit too. Let's not act like we have been innocent of blood. I mean, hell, I'm pretty sure every country has so many bloody bones in its fucking closet. Meanwhile, you want to tell the fags and the dykes to go back to it, girl? Fuck that. Ain't no closet. And the gag is, y'all realizing that the closet doesn't mean just us. It means y'all too. No shade, but let's continue.
But nonetheless, back to these interviews. Lots of young people, black people. I mean, I was shocked because these are the type of demographics that the left, the Democrats, always have in their grasp, right? Because the concept of what we know as the left and liberalism, you know, they're very alluring to a young person. Young people are naturally rebellious, and they, you know, they have bleeding hearts. It's so easy to convince them of things that aren't true. And
I want to break that down real quick, because again, I'm just in the spirit. It is what it is. I'm in the flow right now, BubzZfloww. Listen. Yes, when it comes down to children coming into the world and learning the ways of the world, yes, they are ignorant in that aspect. But as far as knowing what is right and what is wrong, as far as the energy is concerned, children are closer to that aspect than humans are. That's why they say all the time, you can't fool a child and you cannot fool animals. They will know what's up at all times. You may be able to play that game with human beings, but you cannot play that game with children or animals. So of course, if children or youth is looking at the world and they're actually learning and being better than their parents, and they're seeing, there seems to be a particular pattern that fucking happens here. Maybe we need to change that. Of course, there's going to be a sense of rebellion because there needs to be a change. And then on top of that, the youth is going to have to inherit the world that people our age and older than us have left it in. And the way we're going, there won't be a fucking world. A true, genuine world. It'll be an authoritarian world. It'll be yet another false ass, you better show your allegiance or die ass world. And no shade. That's when America was great. That's when America was great to them. When they were in control, they had the money, and the niggers and everybody knew their place. Back when they can call you that. Back when they can do things to you. They want to go back to that. They're tired of tolerating. And sometimes, no shade, when I hear other black people speak about this, it could be easy to go the whole, oh, you a Uncle Tom or a Mammy route. And I don't want to go down that route. But I do feel like there is a cognitive, how can I say this? I will say a cognitive dissonance. I'll say this. There are people who want to be divorced from these cultural, monolithic viewpoints of blackness. They don't want nothing to do with that. The problem is that the society benefits from people who do that, because that means that you will work for us to help demonize those people. Not sit down, talk to them, not try to commune with them, not try to break bread with them and see what's really going on with them. It's more so on the lines of, I just want to prove that I'm not them people. But at the end of the day, you will always be those people. You know how to play the game. You know what I'm saying? So, and yes, Micah, yeah, we just talked about that earlier. But again, children are closer to spirit than us. They know the truth. So again, the youth wants a different world, and I think we should give that to them. And no shade. If there is presidencies after 2024, because again, we heard how Trump was talking, how they're going to grant the next president or the going forward with immunity to do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and then have a loyal, faithful base. Girl, it's like manifesting the video game The Division, bitch. Girl, like, I be playing these games and I be like, girl, I'm getting goosebumps. All this shit seems too extreme. And I can understand why people don't like wokeism, because all it's doing is just bringing those things together, because that's actually what's happening, girl. They need you to play into the spell with them. They need you to play into the game with them. They need you to participate in what their version of what they want to happen. They don't want people to be conscious. They don't want people talking for real. They don't want people connecting with each other. They want people divided so they don't get to a point to say, wait a minute, we don't want to believe this picture anymore. We're going to believe something else than this. And that's why I wish people on the left and the right who are just tired would come together, talk to each other, and create a third way, or find a way to slice the fucking bird in half, girl. And I feel like if there is going to be a third route going forward, it needs to be led by the youth. It needs to be led by those who are going to inherit this earth. And if you are a good parent, if you are a good member in society, if you are about community, you're going to want the next generation of children, even if it ain't yours, to grow and to become better off of their own gifts and their own merits, unlike white supremacy, who continues to pass on old wealth where they inherit that shit as opposed to working for it. Because they never had to work for it. It was always given to them. Meanwhile, the niggas worked for it. And when the niggas worked for it and did better than the individuals who were inheriting it, guess what? They destroyed those people. Their rule book hasn't changed, just like some of the Democrats and black liberals' mindset hasn't changed. We have to do this and we have to do this. We got to do something fucking different. Anything that's stagnant will eventually die. And death is for all of us. But for these young motherfuckers, let them live and stop trying to use them as vessels to complete your mistakes when you still breathing and you still have a chance to do things that you want to do. And again, this ain't to you, Jay. I'm just using your commentary as a springboard to address the masses and other people who I'm really talking to. Okay? Babyface said, child, that happens behind the scenes where others want to know that it's happening. I mean, well, others won't know that it's happening. Let's continue, y'all. This is going to be good. Make sure you hit that Cash App, girl, okay? My big ass forehead, appreciate it.
They haven't really entered into the workforce. They haven't really been paying taxes.
They really haven't been indoctrinated. I don't like that still.
Property.
There we go. I got respect for her, okay? They haven't been indoctrinated yet. But the youth are not worried about the future. They're only concerned about what they can get right now. And, you know, Shade, at this point, if we keep going down this route, that's going to probably be the only way they feel like they're going to be able to live. Shit. The life expectancy going down. They putting all type of poison in our food. Bioengineered shit, girl. Every part of our life is monopolized. You can't do nothing now, especially going forward. They're going to make it to where you can't do nothing without. You have no privacy. You are not your own person. So some of them are saying, shit, 2000 party over. Out of time. Girl, some of them are just living in the moment. And no shade. That's all we really can do is live in the moment. Because tomorrow is not really promised. We don't know when we're going to end. We don't know when we're going to leave this planet. So, again, in the words of Katy Perry, all we have is this moment. But the thing is about the moment is that if you find love in the moment and you follow that flow of love in other moments, you start to create new healthier habits and thought patterns that you can pass down to your children, and they can end up taking that love and give it to other people, to where people will be more so about humanity. Because even though, see, and it's sad because it's like in order for humanity to come together, it seems like everybody has to be threatened at the same time. Everybody's livelihood has to be attacked at the same time. And I feel like we shouldn't have to wait until that happens in order for us to be humans. It happened during 9/11. Even though another group of people became the new niggas, girl, the original niggas, they was treated with shit, girl. They probably didn't have no problem with black people running through their shit. Hell, you can come on over and get you a slice of this motherfucking American pie, cherry pie my wife made. Hell, matter of fact, I'll let you fuck her. Because, yes, we're going to need you to be strong and protect us on the planes. Matter of fact, you can come up and sit in front row with me. Hell yeah. Wife, go sit in the back. You've been annoying me this whole fucking time. Shit. Goddamn. Take her to the back. Take the kids too. You play basketball? Now hold on. I've been wanting to ask black people this. Hold on one second. You smoke weed? I'm white. I can do what I want. Yeah, let me get this for you. Hold on. You're gonna protect me from Abdullah Aglululu? You're gonna protect me from You're gonna protect me from phlegm, girl? Come sit next to me. And I always wanted to ask y'all this. Make sure no one's looking. Is it true what they say about black guys? About how they, you know. Can I say it? I just want to say it. Why can't we just be loving to each other when there's no war? Why can't we just learn how to create the peace and help maintain the peace? And there are ways to do it. It's just that we have become mentally and emotionally lazy. We can't even fix shit in our own lives, let alone the world. But that's why you love yourself and start with yourself first. Once you change your own world, then you can help inspire other people to change their world. That's why at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what people believe, what they think, because at the end of the day, I have also accepted that they're going to do that anyway. So I might as well do what I'm going to do anyway, but I'm going to do it in a loving and affirming way. Because I'm going to get what's all for BubzDaGawd. I'm going to die one day, and that is a fact. But until then, I'm going to live, and I'm getting everything that I want. And I'm just scratching the tip of the iceberg. I want that for everybody, which is why I don't hate on people personally. Now, I'll read your thoughts. And no shade, girl. If motherfuckers start reading, this is really for the niggas. Because, again, for the women, I give more grace to. It be these niggas out here who be talking all this shit, girl. I will give them the smoke to the point to where I even prepared myself, unfortunately, in the event of me losing my damn life. And if that is the case, I've already affirmed every damn day. It won't just be my life. It will be lives, girl. We both gonna be in the spirit realm, girl. And I'm learning more about it, bitch. So while you sitting there shooketh, girl, I'm gonna be dog walking your ass until whatever your mind, hell, or whatever you perceive to be hell or heaven happens to your ass. Okay? I know niggas fuck in the astral realm. It's gonna be an astral ass whooping. Okay? Anyway, let's continue.
Taxes, trying to purchase homes, sending kids to schools. So there's a lot of things they just don't understand the severity of. So it's very easy for a 19, 20-year-old to be caught up in all of that leftist rhetoric, the we are the world stuff. But as you get older, you realize that that's a bunch of baloney. Okay? It doesn't stand to reason hardly ever.
Damn. So why should the generation get better then, girl? If we will never manifest we are the world. I might as well go ahead and continue to sell drugs in the community. I might as well continue to kill other niggas, because what's the hope? What's the point? If we can't find peace. So in a way, by saying we'll never have, they haven't grown up or realized that having peace is a child's play. Meanwhile, there's a scripture in the book that a lot of these motherfuckers don't read, girl, will let their pastor interpret. That it said that if you do not have the mind of a child, you will never inherit the kingdom of heaven. Because children, they came from being cared for, and that's all they know. They just get into this world and start relying on other external factors because of their parents. And also, parents paint their fears onto their children as well, more so than affirming their children. We can see this when it happens. We can see this when the situation happens to queer people. Almost every queer person I know, and I'm grateful that that a lot of them are affirming, but for the other half, unfortunately, or the bigger half, shall I say, those experiences are never pleasant. They're destructive. And because those things are destructive and they have no sense of what real love is, especially from the people that are supposed to give them that, they'll go out into the world with other people who are also hurt and continue to hurt each other, trying to find love in all the wrong places when the love should have been at the fucking house. So when you say the kumbaya moment is not possible, it may not be possible for you, but it is possible for those who want it. And this agenda wants to stop those people, because the people who are proposing the agenda, they're the ones struggling to walk in their own truth. They want to force everybody to be miserable with them. Y'all the one that's connected to God and on the right side of shit. And your book said that the evil people will be destroyed, girl. At this point, why don't you just let the people run amok and do their damn thing and let the Lord come through like he said he was? If anything, y'all preventing his arrival. Y'all preventing his arrival, girl. Let the shit happen if that's what's gonna happen, girl. We live in our last days. Prepare for it then. And let God be God, right? But y'all trying to stop it. Let's try to take the country back. No. This is cursed land. We heard that yesterday on the XK Live. This is cursed land. Well, let God cleanse the cursed land. But see, again, with organized religion, the only way they feel like God is going to cleanse the land is if God works through them and blood is shed. And again, chill out, Jay. I would love to hear your opinions and perspectives about those who are... hopefully you can break down Project 2025 for us. I don't know if you've done that already. If you have, I stand corrected. I'll go back and look at that. But if not, I would love for you to do that on your own. Do that on your channel so that we could probably get a deeper breakdown. Because over on BMU, it was a shit show. The only person that was up there with intelligence was Mr. Bennett, of course. He's always there. We thank God for that. And Uncle Jeff, who I'm starting to really think is a real cool, dope person. Okay? I think people who talk like Cat Williams and kind of have a quirky type of way of comedy and smokes weed, I affirm with them. I don't give a damn where you are on the spectrum. I already told you, you smoking weed, you good with me. Okay? But anyway, let's continue.
Now, does that mean you have to be a person that doesn't care about the well-being of other people at all? Of course not. You can pray for people and maybe even support help from the United States within reason, but it is not.
So you can pray for them but not do anything. Just pray for them, girl. I'm gonna pray for you, girl. I ain't gonna do shit, girl. I'll let the government handle you, girl. I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna do no community stuff. I ain't gonna lend you a stick of butter. I ain't gonna nothing.
It's not reasonable to offer aid in a time where your own country is in complete turmoil, specifically financially. So once again, that guy will not be getting my voter support. And so I just find it very interesting. I mean, I can't say I don't get why it's happening. I won't say that I don't get why the tides are turning. People are tired. People are fed up. And they're tired of being lied to.
I agree.
But the unfortunate truth is, the left is largely a cult. And if you don't know anything about cults, you know that the people who are in them are loyal to the end. No amount of...
I don't see niggas out here trying to off Joe Biden. If anything, we just gonna talk our shit about this nigga and roast his ass. That's it. And on top of that, the true cult is the one that stormed on the Capitol building in January. And then thank God for it. That's the cult. The one who is trying to enforce a white nationalist Christian perspective and ideology over all. Those are the cult people. And that's factual. So I just need more information. Maybe there's some things that I don't know, Jay, that you know that could probably enlighten me. And I want to be enlightened. I'm with you. I'm tired too. I'm tired of all type of shit. Girl, I'm gonna get my shit, girl. I'm gonna let her play.
Reason, evidence, logic that you present to them will turn them away from the cult. Case in point. And shout out to Jason Black from the Black Authority channel. He's the first person that I saw talking about this. And I want to pull up some of these things myself, but I'm going to recap first what he said. He was reading some tweets of all things that pop up when you simply go to Twitter and type in George Clooney. So George Clooney is a self-proclaimed staunch Biden supporter, has been from the beginning, has donated extremely large amounts of money to his campaign. He even attests that he has made the largest donation to any Democratic candidate in history, and that was only a month ago. Now he's writing articles for the New York Times telling people basically, hey, we'd be literally irresponsible if we allow this guy to stay on the ticket. We've got to get rid of Joe. You know, he's ailing. You know, you can't beat time. And he was being very, very couth in his speech. You know, he was being very sensitive. All the things that the liberals swear they care about. He was being as politically correct as one could be. But yet and still, it wasn't enough. Because the cult that is leftism is an insatiable group of people. The only thing that even mildly, gives them any sort of satisfaction is complete and unquestioned allegiance. The second that you start raising questions, concerns, anything like that, it's over. Okay? So anyway, once Jason started reading the comments, there was a slew of hate towards this man. I mean, people just spouting out some of the meanest things. Oh, hey, if one bad debate means you're not qualified to be president, then I guess one bad movie means you should drop out of entertainment. All of this for saying the obvious thing, addressing the elephant in the room that we all see. But this is what I've been trying to warn you guys about the left. You're not allowed to say the thing, whatever the thing is that we all know. You're not allowed to say that a man is clearly not a woman. You're not allowed to say that, that systemic racism has by and large been done away with in this country, as we know that black people have plenty of opportunity. Some may even argue more than others due to programs like affirmative action.
Nah, no shade. I'm gonna have to run that back. because this is one of the aspects, no shade, that I did find kind of like wow. I want to take it back some. Let me take it back some. Is this it?
One bad movie means you should drop out of entertainment. Enough. Because the cult that is leftism
okay, we good here,
is an insatiable group of people. The only thing that even mildly, gives them any sort of satisfaction is complete and unquestioned allegiance.
Just like how Project 2025 is going to request that same allegiance. And my thing is, if it's the allegiance, it's not the allegiance that I feel like queer people and black people want. It's not, if it's allegiance, it's an allegiance to I'm going to be equal in this bitch. It's allegiance to I'm going to have equity in this bitch. It's allegiance to I'm not going to let what my ancestors did die in vain so that they can win. That is what that means. So it's an allegiance to that. Their allegiance, along with Trump, is to completely do what they've been doing. Not being inclusive at all, but completely gutting anything that is inclusive and completely whitewash it. And some of the things that you are saying, in a sense, I guess, from a... because I don't want to look at it in this way, but it's just like, if you're going to say all this, I'm going to need more information. Now, in reference to you talking about Joe Biden shit, I do agree. I feel like at this point, remove his ass and let Kamala do it. She is the person who's running for vice president. So again, isn't that what happens when something happens to somebody? I don't know, as far as the election running process, I'm sure I'll be corrected. So ignorantly speaking here, I mean, if the president were to die, the vice president would come into play. Wouldn't that be the same thing if they're running on the ticket together? That if it happens before your president or after, that there's still somebody running for that aspect, for that party. So I do agree with about changing his ass, because no shade, like, if anything, he's the epitome of both him and Trump, but really him is like, okay, you need to go retire. Go sit down. You've done your service. You've already been a president. Go lay down. He probably ended up becoming fucked up trying to handle all y'all bullshit. We done seen a lot of black probably going forward, maybe some more black presidents, but a black president have full head of blackness and left that shit looking like salt and pepper, more so the goddamn salt part. It's stressful to run the country. Project 2025 is going to make sure that all that stress goes away. Allow us to deal with the stress. You just worry about running the country and just showing the world how powerful we are. We'll clean up the shit at home. While you're out there conducting wars, because again, Project 2025 is modeled after the Ronald Reagan administration. And what happened? Didn't y'all go to war? And not just outside of America. Didn't y'all also go to war inside of America? Look what it done. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all want us to forget real objective history, but you want us to believe your make-believe one. Your make-believe one. And yours is not even a complete religion or book. And on top of that, that was already whitewashed anyway, because when you do your research, a lot of the things that are in the Christian Bible are derived from Egyptian, African spirituality. Y'all just whitewashed it. That's all.
The second that you start raising questions, concerns, anything like that, it's over. Okay? So anyway, once Jason started...
That's interesting, because I was asked questions on the platform and I answered them. Now, I may have not answered them in the way that people would assume that I would answer them, but I did answer them. So again, if you have questions, there are queer people out here who have no problem answering them for y'all. We create these lives and try to get y'all in the building to be educated and to ask questions in the space. And then when we come into y'all spaces, y'all still be trying to have safe as conversations with queer people. So it's kind of like you can't sit up here and say ask questions as if though we're not answering the questions. If you want to say something about transness, and I definitely want to pause at that moment.
Reading the comments, there was a slew of hate towards this man. I mean, people just spouting out some of the meanest things. Oh, you know, hey, if one bad debate means you're not qualified to be president, then I guess one bad movie means you should drop out of entertainment. All of this for saying the obvious thing, addressing the elephant in the room that we all see. But this is what I've been trying to warn you guys about the left. You're not allowed to say the thing, whatever the thing is that we all know. You're not allowed to say that a man is clearly not a woman.
Trans people, trans women in particular, literally have stated that they agree with you in reference to the sex that they were born as. But they live outside the confines of what you believe to be true. It can be true for you. If it's true for you, let it be true for you. Don't try to change someone else's truth, because when you do that, then you're going to get that same energy back. And the gag that we've seen also in history is that the ones who are hating the most, truly, genuinely hating, not giving critiques, not opening up the door to have conversations, not to continue those conversations consistently, not doing any... Girl. The way they show up in the world is the way they show up in the world. And regardless of what y'all say, T.S. Madison, Hope, Giselle, countless other trans women are still being called she, her, and are finding love. Be grateful that they are, so that your man don't have to give them that love. Be grateful that there are other people out there that are different, that are going to be in sync with the people that you find to be weird or different, so that you don't have to. All we're saying in reference to our everyday interactions, because at the end of the day, we all have to participate in the society. And I feel like if we're going to do that, we might as well make the best of what the fuck we got and then grow from there, as opposed to what we've been doing. This whole clusterfuck that has been put on all of us as Americans, that's literally being indoctrinated in other places of the world, that is the shit that is evil. That is the shit that takes away freedom. It's either you believe my freedom or that's it. There are trans women who don't need y'all to care, need y'all of affirmation for them to live. All we're saying is be respectful. Well, I'm gonna call you what your daddy called you. First of all, you don't know my daddy, nigga. And second of all, I'm gonna walk the fuck away. The issue that we've seen in these cases is that when even queer people walk away, not even saying shit back, but when they walk away, these individuals follow them. We have countless videos of queer people, heterosexual people literally doing shit to queer people that incites violence and death. We don't care if y'all believe it or not. Some of y'all believe stuff about yourselves that obviously y'all are not. And a lot of us be trying to be nice and not let y'all know. But if this is a person that you're never ever going to see again in life, what's wrong with just honoring their pronouns? Why you got to stand there and let them know the truth and record this and I'm speaking my freedom or whatever? Okay, well then I encourage everybody to speak their freedoms. Again, I told y'all it's equality across the board. That is what God, source, universe, consciousness, Krishna, Buddha, Muhammad, every fucking deity, every energy at the core is telling y'all. At this point, whatever y'all put out, you're going to get that back. And don't be surprised, because that's how the universe works.
You're not allowed to say that, that systemic racism has by and large been done away with in this country, as we know that black people have plenty of opportunity. Some may even argue more than others due to programs like affirmative action and whatever else.
Okay. Let's talk about that. then why are we still having the same conversations? And on top of that, I would love to know, when was the day that racism died in this country? Can someone objectively tell me that? When was the actual day? Help me, maybe I don't know. Maybe my school system failed me or something. But when was the day that I'm gonna ask y'all? I ain't gonna ask Google. Y'all say y'all know shit. Prove it. When was the day that racism died overall? It's not that good. I thought it was gonna be good, but it's alright. It's alright. I thought it's orange mango. I thought it was more mango. It tastes more orange. I don't really like orange like that. Oh shit. Damn. And I bought 3 of those. Oh, I'm mad. I should have stick with the motherfucking watermelon. I should have just been a nigga, girl. But I think what I'm going to do is, on that part, I'm not going to talk about it because I talk about it a lot on my channel. I'm going to let the Defiant lawyer do that. Because there's a section where he going to talk to y'all. And he heterosexual. And he up there on the age, with, in the same age bracket as some of the niggas on BMU. So maybe they'll get it from them. I don't know. But let's continue. I'll let them do that.
And that's okay. But to pretend as though you don't see that elephant in the room is disingenuous, and it just nullifies whatever argument you're about to make. So independent of whether you vote left, right, center, you can't pretend like you did not watch that. He mentioned 51 million viewers. We can't sit here and tell 51 million people that they didn't see what they saw, that they didn't hear what they heard.
Right.
And you know how Donald Trump is. You know, he's not the best. He's just not the best speaker, okay? You know, it's stuff going on up there, but he's just not the best at articulating it. But good for him. Joe Biden looked so bad and sounded so bad, he might as well have been Dr. King up there. So, you know, I'm going to just be honest.
You said what, ma'am? Hold on, I didn't hear that part. You said what?
There, but he's just not the best at articulating it. But good for him. Joe Biden looked so bad and sounded so bad, he might as well have been Dr. King up there.
Can y'all please let me know if y'all heard that? I just want to make sure I'm good, because I am high. I'm going to read some of y'all comments, because I feel like I need y'all to understand that. Did I just hear? Did I just hear that? Let me see. Think about the fact that most blacks don't even support black businesses without wanting a discount or getting it for free. That part, we gotta do better at that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. Put in the work. Put in the money, bro. You would go somewhere else. You wouldn't ask that at motherfucking Neiman Marcus for real. You probably be walking in there when they have a coupon. And they really had that. You gotta be buying shit in their store for them to give you that stuff. Wow. I just don't understand why, excuse me, if you just don't like gay people, and I'm just going to run that out there, but you're using their lingo and all that other stuff. Prophet said, these Horton hears a who-ah people, Lord, raised in predominantly white neighborhoods, so they spent the entirety of their lives spans seeking white love and appreciation, are terrifying. I get the white schools are better education-wise, but look at what it does to your children. They morph into this amalgamation of wanting to protect white people and deny racism. Yep. Or in a sense, they just literally teach them. Like, I forgot the name of the author, but there's a book that I started reading, and I need to get that book back or just buy it eventually. It's called Learning to Be White, and it's the account of white people literally remembering their parents telling them, or better yet, instilling the foundation of, we are these people and those are those people. I remember one time I was in McDonald's with my dad, and this white guy came in, and he came in with his son. He said, "Oh, look, Dad, it's them brown people you be talking about." I told you, children be telling the truth. They be learning all the lying shit from y'all. And y'all mad the children is rebellious. Of course, because a lot of them, no shade, don't want to be their parents. Some of y'all are not model citizens as parents either. Some of y'all have failed in applications as parents too. Okay? But I mean that's a fact. And black people do the same thing. We teach our children fear-based stuff. Survive the encounter. Now make sure you're doing this and making sure our children don't hang out with other people and shit. Keep on the straight and narrow. And even when they on the straight and narrow, they fucking die. Cause Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all them niggas had on suits and ties and still unfortunately got murdered. So whether you dress up or you don't at all, girl, the fact that you a nigga trying to rise is the problem. It's the issue. Girl, they already... I'm on Rumble. They say, emergency live stream, Trump assassination attempt. Girl, first of all, if you gonna shoot a nigga, girl, why shoot him once? Was the wind blowing hard? Like I said, that could have been a bee. These... Girl, and we the cult. All right. Queen Stevie says, I'm not a fan of anyone that is anti-gay, that is conservative and black, unalived at this Trump rally. And also pay attention to the defiant fist that he lifted in the air after being whisked away by his security team. Of course, girl. Say it loud. We white and I'm sorry. Say it loud. I'm white and I'm proud. Girl, I told you whitewashing. Y'all thought I was playing? Girl, we find another background song. Hold on. Let's do another lo-fi mix. What's this one? What's this one? This cool. This sound pretty. Ooh, this sounds so pretty. Is the audio and my mic kind of good? I want the background to be the background. I don't want to be arguing with the background, girl. Okay, I'm like that episode of what is it? My Wife and Kids. When you're behind the line of the stage, you back up. When you're in front of the stage of the line, you shut up. Shut up. Shut up. And yes, Deshaun, you heard right. I'm glad you said it. Did she just say Dr. King? So basically, you're disrespecting Martin Luther King. You're saying that he's the worst speaker in the world. That's what you basically said, girl. And I think I would like an explanation or more nuance on what she meant by that. But that's what I heard. She basically just said Biden is the worst speaker like Martin Luther King. Let me know she doesn't like Martin Luther King. She's not a supporter of him. Queen Stevie said that raised fist or the clenched fist is a long-standing image of mixed meaning, often a symbol of solidarity, especially with a political movement. It is a common symbol representing a wide range of political ideologies, most notably socialism, communism, anarchism, and trade unionism. And in this case, it was not solidarity. It was whitewashing. It was whitewashing. Prophet said, child, watch the people that believe that stunt was real. It would truly prove how stupid MAGA fans are or how desperate they are. How desperate they are. Again, if black people start rising and descending, whiteness is going to have to be accountable by default by the spirit. Y'all fighting y'all own losing battle. Y'all arms are too short to box with God, and y'all motherfuckers out of all people should know that. But again, y'all don't live this Christian way. You just use it as a shield to be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do, and then when it's time for accountability, nope, God, girl, we gonna gag at who he says, girl, turn away. I never knew you. Y'all gonna gag at that. But let's continue with the rest of her commentary.
So, I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. I truly believe at this point,
that sound good, Queen.
You are still gonna vote for Joe Biden no matter what. And I would even argue if you'd be willing to vote for Kamala Harris in the event that they do a little switcheroo with her or something.
That would
maybe
be smart.
That's her long game. She is sticking by Joe like gorilla glue. So, she's just not having it. Any logical criticisms that people have brought to her, she's just shutting them down. Well, but we have to, but Jake, we have to remember that one night does not define a person's career. Well, we certainly hope that's the case for you, Kamala, because though it wasn't just one night, I'm sure rather several of the nights that you slept with a married man, you know, Willie Brown, the guy that you used to bolster your political career to get to where you are now undeservedly, is...
She basically said, let me hold you down for only for one night. Let me keep. Girl, that's basically what you said, girl. So Kamala, as a black woman, was trying her best not to be the angry, sassy, black woman like she was in that debate the first time around. She was trying to be more polished and more pomp and circumstance, more of that. And even when she does that, now it's about her fucking other shit. Now, if she fucking other shit, girl, talk about it. If it's real life shit, you can prove it, girl. It is the truth, girl. Because at the end of the day, I played this game with y'all as far as this whole voting thing because I'm also still going to educate, girl. I'm just going to wait for y'all to finally figure it out, girl. And I feel like this election is going to help y'all really figure it out, that this shit is rigged. We all being fucked with. And now that we know that, it's going to be, unfortunately, too late. It's going to be survival time for real. And like I said, everybody's going to be an error. Because as much as white people believe that they're going to be saved, girl, there are certain, they care about a certain group of people. And there are some white people who don't even fit that standard. It's going to be all type of Americans that's going to be fucked up from all different shades and all that stuff. Because we about to really know what it truly, genuinely, objectively looks like when it's us versus them. And the them is much smaller than what you think. But the gag is, we got to keep hope alive because, and shout out to, what's his name? Paul Mooney. Shout out to that king. Rest in power. He said something true. He said, black people escaping the plantation, that wasn't part of the plan. That was never part of the plan. They weren't prepared for that. They weren't prepared for the product to gain some sort of sentient type of awareness that they are something. They're product. We tell them what to do. We use them like fucking household appliances and chores, and in a lot of cases, furnitures and shit. There are pictures of this. We casually hang these niggas at picnics and shit. Sending postcards with best regards to you and your new baby love, the Johnson family, girl. And them, they smiling and shit, and it's a nigga's feet swinging in it. Oh, that was in the past. That was in the past. That ideology has not died. If anything, it's ready to come the fuck out. It's tired of hiding in the shadows. Just like how the queer people are tired of hiding in the closet. They tired of hiding in the closet too. We just about to see what the real truth is. That's the issue. That's the problem, girl. That I think a lot of y'all are going to be facing. Because again, you can get up here and speak in defense of these people. These people ain't gonna save you. It reminds me of the scene from Tales in the Hood, the last story with Killer K, before he was put into that whole mindfuck situation with those images of real life shit and gang shit. He was in a cell next to an individual who was part of the Klan, white Aryan Brotherhood. He hated black people so much he saw them as things to be destroyed that was sanctioned by God and everything. And he told him, you know, how many niggas you killed? If anything, you're like my dream. You're like my dream animal, my spirit animal. I wish I could have the privilege of killing as many black people as you do. And you do that so much, and you speak against them so much, and you deny them so much, that when the cleansing comes, when the purge happens, when the civil war happens, because they're calling for that, if we win, because there's always a way. And we definitely have will as black people. That if it goes down this road, guess what? We'll let you live. Just like they did on the plantation, girl. There were niggas who were willing to sell their own out to make sure they got a taste. Because they understood that this is the best it's gonna get because I'm still a nigga. But I mean, hell, I'll sell my soul. At least I ain't gotta be out here with y'all. Even though when you in the house and doing shit, you still get fucked on too. You still get fucked with too. Maybe not as much. Maybe they ain't gonna be you all the time. But understand it's gonna be you some of the time. History is literally repeating itself. It's just that this time, it's not meant for black people. It's gonna be meant for a lot of different Americans. This shit is bigger. That's why I appreciate Uncle Jeff, because Uncle Jeff understands the assignment, the bigger picture part of it. And motherfuckers laughing at him, girl. Okay, we'll see who's fucking laughing, girl. But anyway, let's continue.
It's so funny that the left is pretending to care so much about Donald Trump's, affairs, and he slept with this person and paid her off to not say anything, as if they care anything about morality, especially of the sexual kind. But somehow, when you bring up Kamala Harris and Willie Brown, it's just hear no evil. It's almost like they literally just refuse to acknowledge that it even happened. And the difference between me and them is that I'm not going to pretend like I care, because I don't. I don't really care about her relationship with Willie Brown at the time. I mean, that's between her, him, and his wife. But I do care about hypocrisy and blatant lies. And I do care about people who play in my face and try to insult my intelligence. Because, baby, we don't do that over here. So all in still, it's just really interesting. I mean, who could have guessed that it would have come to a head so profoundly as it has? Everything is unraveling. So many people, who's the one guy? Of course, Jake Tapper, but who's the other guy? Anderson Cooper. Even he is like, guys, come on. Let's stop being silly here. What other options do we have? Now, this is, of course, the Democrats' own fault, because they base their entire shtick on, well, we don't really have anything good that we're proposing at all, but you can't have that boogeyman Trump back in office. Oh, stop Trump. And unsurprisingly, a lot of those tweets that were, darts being thrown at George Clooney for saying, once again, the obvious thing that everyone's thinking, that was a general consensus too. I'm voting for Joe Biden because I don't want Trump in office. Trump being in office is going to send this country into da-da-da-da-da-da. Right. So what could he do to make things even worse than they already are? I can't imagine much. What I will say is, presidents lie. All of them. Politicians lie. It's kind of par for the course, it's just a part of the job. You can't please everyone. But what you can do is, to the best of your abilities, try to provide the best service and the best policies that will really reflect the interests of the American people at large. So then you have to say, well, during X time versus X time, or I guess maybe I should say Y time, when was I feeling the best? When was I the most financially secure? When did I have the most amount of hope for a future of developing a family and household? When did I have the most faith in the security, the literal physical security of this country? And I'll just say it was not from 2021 to now. I have felt in a level of dismay that I don't know if I've ever felt before in my adult years. I mean, that could just come from being 30. I mean, I think that being an adult just comes with its own challenges, but I also equate that to the troublesome times that we're seeing now, which I do believe to be largely the result of the incompetence of the Biden administration. It's not just him, it's his constituents as well. They're just not good at what they do. They're way too, and once again, that to me,
So the group of people who are actually doing what you were saying earlier as far as the interest of the American people, probably with Biden and him stealing money, I can understand that aspect. But what president, and we thought as black people Barack Obama was going to do that, to be able to help usher in what is deserving to the American people, i.e. African Americans. That also go, and a lot of niggas gonna give y'all the money back. Let's just be real. A lot of niggas gonna be Gucci'd out. You're gonna get that money back. But the fear is that there are gonna be some of us who would take that wealth and find a way to create black money within this society. Just like how, no shade, our Asian community brothers and sisters make money off of us, and our Muslim brothers and sisters make money off of us. We need to start generating black wealth within the black community. But again, when we did that historically, it was always destroyed. So again, they want to go back to the time where they can do that, because now they're being held accountable of their shit. Other people are starting to rise and ascend. It is not our fault that when we tell our stories, a lot of y'all are in a negative way that we can prove, unlike your book that you can't prove. And now you feel shooketh within your faith, and now you want to try to destroy these other people because Project 2025 and Project 47, whatever fucking project it is literally going to harm American people. So you're already saying American people are being harmed outside of this country, but then there's going to also be harm to the American people inside the country. And like you said, you can't please everybody, but it seems like it's always the oppressed groups of people that have to pick up the slack. And if that's going to be the case, even in y'all book, it said the last shall be first and the first shall be last. So are y'all ready to sit in the back of the bus? And I'm talking about energetically. You can't stop that. You got to actually change your mind and your emotions for that to happen. There's a lot of guilt and shame that is being put out there now because the other side is literally feeling something that they don't usually feel all the time, especially when you're privileged, is accountability. And I heard a white man say, who is liberal, which is true, when you're used to privilege, accountability can feel like an attack. Like someone shared in the comments earlier, there are people who grow up in white neighborhoods living white lives, and there is a narrative that's spun about black people in white places to where whenever there are black people there, there's a problem and an issue. See, y'all don't want us in y'all neighborhoods when we're free to be there, but y'all would love for us to be in your neighborhoods if we were cooking and cleaning and washing everything, smiling and grinning. Smiling and grinning. And no shade, some of the lingo that is coming from Jay kind of does speak in that way of there has to be some sort of ill or malice towards black people. I don't know. Because again, I've done commentary with Ron Vugada. I've done commentary with other people who have these same viewpoints as Republicans who are black, who always had some sort of issue with blackness. To where it's like, now I'm going to join in the brigade too because y'all hurt me too. And I'm not saying that's the case with you, Jay. I could be wrong, so I'll say ignorantly speaking. And again, but some of the talking points from a spiritual perspective, not objectively, but just this little nugget of spiritual perspective from a subjective place, it kind of seems like that. So I just want to understand, how can you objectively say, and can you objectively prove how blackness has gotten better that is equal to their white peers? Not the fact of, well, used to be slaves, but now you have a little bit of this. I'm talking about where there is literal equality with white people. Oh, well, affirmative action adds equity. It gives a person who is marginalized a greater chance at getting something, and usually the ones that are doing that are individuals who have to work twice as hard for that. And I'm going to find a clip from Think Piece where he was talking to an individual who goes to an Ivy League school, has a 4.0 GPA, very smart, and earned her way into an Ivy League just for them to throw affirmative action in her face, and she qualified to be there. Meanwhile, the other people that were there were only there because their father donated a wing to the school or a statue to the school, or hell, my father knows this person so they can get me in. They didn't inherit the shit. And if so, had a motherfucker sit down next to each other and take a test and see who's really smart. Because even when you have a lot of money, you don't even have to be smart. You just gotta have the money. Because money makes everything go away. The root of evil is not money, it's the love of money. Because then you start escaping accountability, and that's when the universe got to really get your ass together on the back end. It's just that in this age, it's happening faster than this.
I continue to connect that with the left in general. They're such ideologues that if they can't use common sense.
I like new words. I do this all the time. Define ideologues. Or is it ideologue? It's probably the same thing. Every time I hear a new word, I be like, ooh. First of all, I try to figure out how to pronounce the word, because y'all, I stutter with my words. It is what it is. I'm BubzDaGawd. It's a part of my gift. Hell, even Moses was a stutterer, and I ain't even stuttering hard like that. I just talk very fast and slur my words together, which I will get better at. But whenever there's a word that I don't know, I always Google it, because again, I'm learning, I'm educating myself. Especially as a black man, this should be a good thing.
You can't exercise common sense for discussions and arguments, right? It's just, well, we stand by this ideology no matter what. So if you stand by transgenderism no matter what, then you're not allowed to say, well, but, like a logical person would say, fine, an adult human being has, I guess, the right to do whatever they want with their body.
They do.
However, prepubescent children, and really just children in general, should not be subjected to these heinous practices of mutilation, preventing themselves from having any semblance of normalcy in their lives.
The reason why I'm responding like this is because y'all have still yet to prove these back alley surgeons who are literally slicing and dicing and repricing the children's bodies, like motherfucking taking apart Barbie and G.I. Joe pieces and putting them together again. Who are these people? Where are they at? Where are they located? What is their names? What is their profession? Where is their snip room? Where are these people at? We talk about boogeymen. Where are the boogeymen at? And to be honest, if we're going to play the game of trans people are not allowed or they're weird for getting their bodies done, then I think everybody who gets their bodies done is weird. Whether that's you getting veneers and shit, that's weird. When you're getting Botox to keep you young and youthful, nah, baby. If that's how God wants you to look, have God how you want you to look. If God got some of y'all out here looking like witches and hags and shit, praise be to the Lord. Don't try to change that up then. For some of you niggas, when the dick don't work anymore, don't take extends. That's not natural. Allow what naturally happens to happen to you. But trans people are not confused about their sex at birth, their gender at birth. They have made a choice in their own unique way, in their own unique life, to say, I choose to live this path. And then when we look at, again, indigenous people, queerness is already amongst them. But see, organized religion has taught you that that's feral, that's beastly, that's not of God, and these animals need to be civilized. They need to be taught all these different type of things. And you come over there and fuck with the people and take their shit. You don't barter with them. You don't allow them to be their own sovereign people, and you work with them and really build unity. Just like we're talking about whitewashing now, just like they did with Thanksgiving. We all sat down and we all had corn and we all had turkey and we all had this. And they taught us how to wash our ass because we was bringing viruses and shit. They made us better. And we all just, something happened along the line. And, we started messing, fucking around with each other and shit in bad ways. No, y'all came in and literally pillaged, which means that you destroy. That is a part of their heritage. That is a part of their legacy. Their legacy is drenched in being the true evil heroes in this story, to where they do evil shit, whitewash it, to where we're holy. This is very interesting, especially hearing it a second time, and especially hearing it high under my bro's good weed. Fuck this dispensary shit. It could never.
A normal person, a logical person would say that. But a leftist cult member can't. They're too far in. They're too deep in. So they just go further and further. They get more and more outlandish.
Her gender at birth.
Now exercising is racism and all these types of things. Guys, I promise. The Chill Out J podcast is doing a full revamp. We are going to start having some consistent content, and I'm going to start having reaction days where we do reactions to these viral.
Yes. I would love for you to react to some of my commentary. That would be interesting. It's easier to attack other people's commentary who don't really know much, because even when I do commentary on TikTok or upload videos and get into conversations and sometimes debates with other people, 9 times out of 8 they really don't know what they be talking about. They just follow the jargon. So you're talking to somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. So my thing is, I would love for you on your channel to go ahead and give commentary on mine. I give you permission. Don't talk to those ignorant ass queer people who are trying to still figure shit out, who are scared and terrified and trying to live their life. Talk to one that is more aligned. And I did offer an invitation to talk to her last time, but you know, I let her know in advance, and no shade, she kind of did a nigga move on me as far as coming in late or whatever. But at that time I was already in the conversation and I didn't see the response until afterwards. She didn't pull up in the live. I thought she would have pulled up in the live and I would have known. But if you don't want to have a conversation with me as far as, you know, in real time, that's perfectly fine as well, because you've already done that twice. But I would love for you to use some of my commentary to kind of just help me understand your perspective more, because if you're saying all this publicly, I need you to educate me. Okay, don't tell me, oh, go look it up for myself. No, I can only show you what I have. I need you to show me what you have, what your work is, what your brain is thinking of, how you interpret it, what you see. I need you to help me out with that so I can understand. That's the goal. And I've asked other people to do that, and unfortunately they have not done so. Hopefully this time we'll get something. Let's continue.
Blue-haired, green-haired, leftist TikTokers, and I cannot wait to get you guys' responses to those. But that being said, guys, this has been an episode of the Chill Out J podcast.
So again, shout out to her. Again, I don't have any malice towards her. I don't hate her. I don't wish nothing bad on her. I wish her light and love. But at the same time, I'm going to give commentary on the ignorant aspects of things. Because to be honest, this is probably going to be my last time voting Democrat. And I'm not talking about vote for Republican. There needs to be something new. There has to be a way. With young people and the youth, there needs to be a youthful voice that comes up that should be supported. Didn't Whitney tell a lot of you motherfuckers, girl, I believe the children are our future? Teach them well. Teach them well. Give them a strong foundation of self-worth, of love, that you can do and be anything you want to. And whatever that is for them that enhances their life, let them then lead the way. Everybody's not going to become motherfucking transgender. Everybody's not going to become fucking queer. And if anything, there's so much about sex and sexuality and gender that we don't know, which is why this is the information age for you to learn. And it don't have to resonate with you. It don't mean that you now gotta start doing it. No, it just means there are other people in the world who are different than you. And if you want to know more about them, there's information. Ain't nobody saying that you gotta learn how to have queer sex and all this shit and all that type of stuff. It's literally about these people's experiences. That's literally it. But anyway, I wanted to do this next video. Okay, no shade. It is hot. Shit, I like a greased donut, girl. The next video we're going to take a listen to is... who's over here is distracting me. From the Defiant lawyers. Okay, again, shout out to them. They are credible in what they do. 15-20 years. It is a father and daughter law firm that matter of fact, let me go ahead and read it for y'all verbatim. Okay, I don't know their views on queerness, and at this point I don't give a damn, because I know how to have the conversations and not be triggered. I know how to do that. me pull up real quick. I think it's what? Defiant, lawyers, bio. Let me change my music up because now you're about to watch something else. We're gonna put this. Is it this one? Yes. And shout out to the individuals, the reaction channels that review Chantel and Amberlynn Reed. I found this instrumental because of them. Okay, I feel more like a professional YouTuber now with this song. But this is not what I was looking for, girl. I was looking for the about. There we go. This is just a brief 2 paragraphs of their history. Okay, it says Augustus Corbett opened the Corbett Law Firm PLLC in August of 2007. For the next 11 years, he was a one-man shop handling personal injury, criminal defense, and family law cases primarily. Trey, you might want to hit them up. No shade. After her law school graduation, his daughter partnered with him. Together, they opened Corbett & Corbett LLP. Corbett & Corbett LLP opened their offices in downtown Dallas, Texas. Soon the word got out about this unique father-daughter legal team that treated their clients like family. With a passion for justice and desire to help the injured, accused, victims of racial discrimination, and those facing family law issues, the firm grew fast. Today, the firm is expanding its reach and taking steps to become a top-notch premier law firm in Texas. Okay, so shout out to a black law firm out here, again, being educated, doing what needs to be done, learning the language of the oppressor, learning more about how the oppressor system actually works. And again, shout out to Chill Out by Jay or Chill J for her commentary about some of the ills of the left community and the black community and stuff like that, saying that, oh, you know, the queer shit needs to go and racism has already been going, so black people, what are you talking about? This lawyer is going to give us more contextual, intelligent, fact-checked, and verified information, again, from a lawyer's perspective that understands all the legal jargon that even the niggas on BMU couldn't even understand. And no shade, me too. I had to Google a lot of shit. So let's take a listen to them. And again, shout out to them. Make sure you subscribe to their channel.
Last video, we shared with you how affiliates of Project 2025 are working against African Americans in the private sector. In this video, I will show you one of the ways Project 2025 will work against African Americans inside the government, especially using the Department of Justice. Stay with me.
We're going to skip a little bit. Let's
Very much. Received instructions from the Department of Justice. Now we, in fact, for the Department of Justice. And specifically, as we go to another screen, we're going to look at how Trump will weaponize the Department of Justice. Now we know that he says that Biden has already weaponized the Department of Justice against him, but we know that's not true. We know that Merrick Garland has not received instructions from Biden to prosecute Trump. What Merrick Garland has tried to do, and the other prosecutors, is to hold Trump accountable. That's it. Nevertheless, Trump is going to use
the leader and shit. You got
the prosecutions from these cases as an excuse to act just like the autocrat and dictator that he wants to be anyway. All right, so I'm going to show you, though, how this is going to impact African Americans. So let me first of all, though, give you a warning. And I want to read it straight from the screen here.
Again, this is a lawyer. They're used to reading books and doing all type of shit that a common person don't even have the ability to do, girl. Y'all will go to a fast food place and eat poisonous shit before you cook your own shit. So he took the time out. He ain't some of these people that y'all say on TikTok, girl, oh, they're just listening to what everybody says, girl. And again, it's so funny that what the people are saying and what these people are saying are the exact same thing. And for those who disagree, it's y'all turn to prove y'all burden of that. Because now we're looking at it from a legal standpoint. Okay?
There are some African-American YouTubers who are telling African-American people Project 2025 is not real, or it's a hoax, a scare tactic, or it has always been around.
Who have we recently done commentary on, girl, that have literally said that? The live where Uncle Geoff said, fuck all this shit. Everybody about to get fucked, girl. Before he disturbs y'all fake pseudo ass pretending that y'all know everything. The only person who saw through it besides, again, Uncle Jeff was Mr. Bennett, because he was able to call it a white Christian nationalist thing. And he still affirmed blackness by saying he want black families and black love to grow and rise. And the gag is, contrary to what you believe or what y'all want to believe over there in the red pill community, I want the same thing too, because if I speak against that, I'm speaking against my future relationship, my future marriage. I'm speaking against my parents' marriage. I'm speaking against all the time that my grandparents spent before my grandmother passed away. I'm speaking against my sister's relationship. I'm speaking against all black relationships. I want black people to experience love in all the intersections. And I love how he kind of gathered y'all up in the beginning, and he's going to tell y'all the shit for real from a legal standpoint, which again, for the people on BMU who act like they know the legal standpoint, and I Google this and Wikipedia this, I want y'all to bring him on your platform. I'm sure he would love to be there, because he also cares about black boys as well. He has a whole book about helping black boys become more educated about the school system and help them to traverse it in a better way. Okay? I think it would be beneficial. I'll be giving y'all hints on future shows that help y'all, that make y'all commentary more quote-unquote verified and valid. And it's crazy, the mentally ill person that y'all say is literally helping y'all, girl, and y'all think I don't see it, girl. I see little inklings of shit, girl. The one thing about BubzDaGawd, girl, I may not get quantity, at least not yet. But one thing I'm always give that's going to never change, or if it does change, it's going to change for the better, girl, is quality. Y'all know it.
That is amazingly irresponsible and false. Even more amazing is African Americans continue listening to such YouTubers. As Dr. King said, nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity.
And it's so funny he mentioned Dr. King, because didn't Chill Out Jay say that, girl, at this point, I didn't know if I was listening to Joe Biden or Dr. King. Both of those motherfuckers had a dream and it made no sense to me. Even though Dr. King said nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. He was able to say conscientious. And sometimes with me, because well, not really smoking weed. It kind of helped me slow down. But because I talk fast and shit, I fuck that word up sometimes. But I slowed it down. Conscientious. I don't think Biden can say conscientious right now. No shade, but I just wanted to say that. Just very interesting.
And those are Dr. King's words, not mine, but they are absolutely
And obviously they didn't mean nothing. It was
now
full
listen
of shit,
to me carefully.
Obviously.
Project 2025 in some form has been around since the Reagan administration. I explained that in the previous video. But what they have planned for 2025 and beyond is much worse than what they had implemented during the Reagan and Bush administrations.
So basically what he's saying is the first time was the trial run. We learned from you niggas. That's why we taking it back again to the 60s and 70s energetically, because we learned, y'all didn't. We tried our best to keep y'all distracted. And now that y'all distracted, and we about to secure this win and actually pull off what y'all tried to pull off. So just like y'all was doing the civil rights movement, y'all was just at the hump, and then we came and sliced y'all Achilles heels, girl, and you failed. And we just followed your playbook and whitewashed it. We're going to show you what we've done, girl. This is a part of our heritage, girl. It's like soul transfers and shit, girl. We gonna get your ass. It's like demonic possession. First there's oppression, then there's infestation, and then there's full possession. Y'all want to possess the stories of blackness so that when they do look back in the history books after y'all destroyed us, according to y'all, that y'all will forever be the leaders, just like y'all did in the books that we read during social studies when I was a child. It was all this white history and The only time Blackness came about, it was for Black History Month, and that was like a page or two compared to the other 108 pages documenting the history of white people. Well, if you're going to document the history and you're claiming to be in the light of God, why not actually walk in the light, the beautiful light? Not just sing about it, but bitch, walk in it. Because if you do, you really going to have to go down that route of Christ. Because remember, he was on the cross. Y'all denying y'all cross experience. This is going to be a very interesting age, girl. At this point, it's anybody's game. They want you to believe it's over with. If anything, the only thing that's over with or done is the fear facade or the veil that's preventing the truth. The veil finna drop, baby. It's been dropping. It's just now getting to completion. We about to see motherfuckers for who they really are. Not only were we walking in our truth, other motherfuckers want to walk in their truth too. I keep telling y'all this, and this is not fear mongering. Fear mongering would be doing what everybody else doing. Oh, it's fake. It's a hoax. Don't worry about it. They're just playing. They're just doing this for the election or whatever. I haven't heard in history, at least to me, and I'm pretty sure other black people educate me, because again, I would love that, but something that is very, very harsh. Even this individual who is a lawyer said that this is more dangerous than the Reagan thing. So again, like I said before we press play, the 60s and 70s was a trial run to get an idea of what it's going to look like. They've always done that. They'll do trial runs on other groups of people that we have been taught not to give a fuck about, so that we can set the grand stage for the rest of you motherfuckers, girl.
Much worse, because Project 2025 actually hits at the very foundation of our democracy. Project 2025 actually sets up fascism, which is really bad for African Americans. Just go back and...
Now let's define that real quick. Define fascism.
Fascism means an authoritarian and nationalistic right-wing system of government and social organization.
Okay. And it also has here, the term fascism was first used of the totalitarian right-wing nationalist regime of Mussolini in Italy, 1922 through 43. The regimes of the Nazis in Germany and Franco in Spain were also fascist. Fascism tends to include a belief in the supremacy of one national or ethnic group, a contempt for democracy, an insistence on obedience to a powerful leader, and a strong demagogic approach. The Dark Ages of the Church, anyone? Y'all remember that? I'm playing the game The Witcher 3 in my off time, trying to get myself grounded from all this other content stuff that I be doing. And it's literally like, this is the same shit, like... Yeah.
Look at my previous videos, and you'll see that fascism is bad for minorities. Okay? So... yes, African Americans have obviously had a very hard time in this country, coming through slavery, Jim Crow, etc. That is true. Project 2025, however, is something that has been implemented in America since or following the Civil Rights Movement. So it has not always been around. Racism has always been around. White supremacy has always been around. But with the passing of the civil rights laws of the 60s, we had some protections. Project 2025 is aiming to get rid of those protections or to abuse those protections in a way that is deleterious to us as African Americans. All right? So don't listen to people who are saying that Project 2025 is not real. I mean, there's a over 900 page manual that you can go and just download and read for yourself. I'm not making up anything. I'm not trying to frighten you. I'm trying to enlighten you.
That part.
And hopefully getting enlightened will cause you to want to fight, right? So it's not trying to scare you into flight. It is giving you the information you need to be enlightened so that you can fight. We got to fight this. We got to fight this primarily by making sure Donald Trump does not get reelected so that he cannot implement Project 2025 or the Agenda 47, whichever one. They're both bad, and they pretty much mirror each other. So
exactly, just softer language.
Project 2025 plans disturbing, ominous changes for the Department of Justice. And so here in front of us is a gentleman named Jane Hamilton and another gentleman named Mike Davis. Jane Hamilton
Mike Jones
wrote the part of Project 2025 having to do with the Department of Justice. Mike Davis is one of the people who may become the Attorney General under Trump. I'll talk about him in just a few minutes. But let's look at some of the things that Jane Hamilton has to say about the Department of Justice. Now, this is my sort of introductory information here before we read what Jane Hamilton has to say. Project 2025 will severely change the Department of Justice, which is a very, very important federal agency for African Americans. The Department of Justice has been the main protector of civil rights of African Americans. However, a new Trump administration will stop enforcing civil rights laws to protect African Americans and will use civil rights laws against African Americans. Cases such as the Ahmaud Arbery case. Do you remember when Ahmaud Arbery was murdered by those 3 racists down in Georgia? They were prosecuted in state court, and then his parents were able to get the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division to prosecute them in federal court. Well, that's probably going to go away. The same thing with Derek Chauvin, who murdered George Floyd. He was prosecuted in both state and federal court, but the federal case would have never happened had Trump been in office. So yes, cases like Ahmaud Arbery, Derek Chauvin, and other cases like that under a Trump administration will not happen. All right, they will not happen under that man's administration. Now, let me show you why I say that, so that you will see here that this is coming straight from the horse's mouth. This is coming straight from Project 2025. Here's what it says. Pursuing equal protection for all Americans by vigorously enforcing applicable federal civil rights laws in government, education, and the private sector. All right, so that sounds good, right? That sounds good, but keep your antennas up. Watch what it goes on to say. Entities across the private and public sectors in the United States have been besieged in recent years by an unholy alliance of special interests, radicals in government, and the far left. In other words, what Jane Hamilton is saying here is there has been an aggressive enforcement of civil rights laws. And that is what they're trying to stop. That's what they're trying to prevent from happening. But they don't just say civil rights enforcement or to protect the rights of African Americans. They don't say that. They use these fancy words to distract you. Again, unholy alliance of special interests.
And on top of that, if we're going to play the game all the way for real, why not do like y'all do in the Bible, girl? What does it mean by, who is the unholy alliance? Is that a part of the glossary? Where can we find that information? Who is the unholy alliance with the special interests? Who are the radicals in government? Who are these individuals? Let us know. And also, too, like I mentioned before anybody can put a spell on you and that spell take a hold of you, there has to be little aspects of the truth in there in order for the universe to recognize it and act on it. It could be 98% lies, but if it's at 2%, baby, that's a crack in the door for that to get into. So it's funny how, like you said in the beginning, it's very bold as far as in school. Bold part is kind of like a synopsis or a little bit of information about what we're going to read, or it usually is starting to say, hey, something very important is going to happen, and then we read further about unholy alliances of special interests and all that stuff. And again, I would love to know who these things are.
Radicals in government and the far left. Again, talking about civil rights prosecutors in the Department of Justice who fought against all of the racism that came along during the Trump administration. And they want to get rid of that. He goes on to say, this unholy alliance speaks in platitudes about advancing the interests of certain segments of American society. Well, yeah, the segments of American society that have been victimized by white supremacy and systemic racism. But that advancement comes at the expense of other Americans. In other words, that advancement, fighting for African American civil rights, comes at the expense of, instead of saying other Americans, what he really wanted to say is white Americans. And in nearly all cases, violates long-standing federal law.
Again, do your research about the Homestead Act. Again, that money that was supposed to be given to the slaves, the 40 acres and the mule, if you will, was given to Europeans, other white people coming from another land, and they got it. So we're arguing with people from European descent who were given that money, even though that money technically belongs to the slaves and the descendants of slaves. And that's fact. So now that we're rising and becoming more aware of things, i.e. critical race theory, all these things, now that we're actually trying to put the pieces together, it's like, no. And remember, our ancestors were murdered for trying to even do this. It's the highest level of narcissism and egotism. I'm right and you're wrong all the time. Y'all want to be Miss Trunchable and shit and throws holes in the choky girl. And what happened when that Holy Ghost invisible spirit came through, bitch? Magnus said, had a whole class reading your shit, girl, putting your tea out there. And then throw your ass out the motherfucking room, girl, to where you lost your mind. Maybe we need to take a page out of Matilda, girl.
Totally false. So they're saying that under the Biden administration, there has been aggressive civil rights enforcement. Aggressive. And they want to change that. They want to stop that. As well as under the Obama administration. They want to stop it. They want to change it. So they intend to change the Department of Justice. And remember, because of the Chevron case, they're able to, in fact, Trump is able to fire all those career prosecutors in the Department of Justice and put his own prosecutors in there. And we're going to see that's exactly what he has planned. All right, stay with
me. Far Cry 5 being played in front of our eyes right now.
Gene Hamilton says, even though numerous federal laws prohibit discrimination based on notable, immutable characteristics such as race and sex, the Biden administration, through the DOJ Civil Rights Division and other federal entities, has enshrined affirmative discrimination in all aspects of its operations under the guise of equity. It is notable that he uses the term affirmative discrimination. What does that remind you of? Affirmative action. In all aspects of its operations under the guise of equity. We know how they hate equity. We know they don't want
because that's equity. Pretty much square.
That's what this fight is really all about.
That sounds too much like right.
Equity. Equity is different from equality. Equity is not only the opportunity, but it is removing the barriers. It is making the playing field level so that African Americans can have a real chance for full equality.
Not through the lens of what y'all think. Go to our schools and get whitewashed and don't become those niggas and we'll give you money. Go be an athlete or an entertainer. Make us laugh, nigga, and we'll give you money. But watch yourself. Don't overstep your boundaries, because again, we have actors and actresses who act their ass off, girl, and still get paid less than their white peers who do subpar work. Like, do y'all? I just had a moment of being gagged because it's like, girl, like, this is literally the same shit that we've been going through for the longest time. It's just that now our generation experiences it. It's like every generation experiences this bullshit. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure if God had a problem with overpopulation and shit, God has no problem removing motherfuckers, girl, without y'all help. See, y'all struggle in y'all faith with God because y'all gotta act it out. Instead of acting it out within your own self. Like, we don't understand the severity of this. We too busy trying to distract ourselves. This is the moment where I wish the actual, real, genuine American people, the humanity of American people would come together and said, no, we're going to choose who the fuck we want. And again, I feel like the youth needs to be involved in this. Y'all talking about children don't know what they want to eat for dinner. Because there's so many foods I haven't known about, Mom and Dad. I'm not cultured as you are. I don't have a fupa yet. So how would I know all these goodies and delectables that your fat ass has been eating all these years? So of course I'm not going to know what I want to eat. I feel like that white man that be talking like this and motherfucker with his eyes closed, girl. Because it's like, girl. But let a bill collector call your house. You'll teach your child to lie in. Hold on one sec. My mommy said she not home. Now she in trouble because you doing bullshit. Maybe I'll close my eyes when I start talking, girl. Maybe I'll start doing it. Help me better. So I don't get distracted. Because I get distracted by shit.
We got a level of equality. But we're demanding full equality. And full equality without the barriers. Without the systemic racism.
Without the there's always more, there's always more. Just pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Just keep going. The meter keeps growing. It's never enough. We want to know when is the enough part. And we understand that the enough part you want us to submit to is going back to what you want us to go back to. And we talking about in far as freedom. And then even when we say, fuck y'all, we're going to do it our own way, y'all be watching us like a hawk and destroying our shit. And then use our own shit to make y'all better. That sounds like some vampiric shit. Well, where is the Witcher at in this motherfucker, girl? Geralt, where are you, pimping? And bring the potions.
Result in equity. Equity. And we're not talking about equity in the sense of giving African Americans something that we haven't earned. We're willing to work for what we deserve. We're willing to put in the work. We're willing to show that we're just as qualified as anyone else. Quite often, we know as African Americans, we have to be what? Twice as qualified.
I just said that.
Twice as qualified. And that is unfair.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to be twice as qualified as our white counterparts or Asian counterparts.
Oh, well, life ain't fair. Okay, bitch. Understand it ain't fair for your ass too, girl. And since I'm twice as qualified, let me show you what the fuck that look like, bitch. And if you hoes try, we're gonna give you twice the motherfucking 2 pieces, bitch. Because I'm telling y'all, as black people, we're gonna have to learn how to defend ourselves violently. How long is it gonna be that we're gonna have to do all that? How this shit happen to us? And at this point, girl, y'all better tap into some form of spirituality, girl. Y'all better get to know y'all motherfucking ancestors, girl. Y'all better have motherfuckers praying for your praying blessings and speaking affirmations over your life. We need more love in our community. You got people out here that went to school, did the right thing, got educated to come back and help y'all. Not just sit up there and judge y'all, but help y'all.
counterparts or Latino counterparts. We should be able to move up in this country by being as qualified as the next person. So yes, they hate that word equity. Now, let's go back. Jane Hamilton says federal agencies and their components have established so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI offices, that have become the vehicles for this unlawful discrimination. Does this sound like a Department of Justice that's going to be sensitive to the civil rights of the African American community? No. They are saying straight up that they will attack diversity, equity, inclusion, civil rights, all of that will be subject to their attack. Because what they love to talk about, which is false, is this so-called meritocracy. I did a video about meritocracy several months ago. This country has never been a meritocracy. Never.
Let's define it real quick. Define meritocracy.
Meritocracy means government or the holding of power by people selected on the basis of their ability.
A society governed by see, I'ma fuck it up, girl. So that was the definition of it.
In other words, white men have always had an advantage. White people generally. It's not that they've gotten what they have gotten oftentimes because of merit. It's because of privilege. It's because of discrimination.
It's been passed on. It's
so
inherited.
Spare us with this false notion of meritocracy.
And since y'all know everything, y'all go pick cotton, show us how it's done. Y'all go do the work. Y'all roll up y'all motherfucking sleeves and show us what work can look like so that we have something to be led by. Go actually be a leader and lead and show us what the fuck it look like. Y'all not gonna do that.
That has never been the case in America. So they want to hold us to a standard of meritocracy while they enjoy a bunch of white privilege. You see, so this again does not sound like a Department of Justice that's going to be fighting for African Americans if Trump gets reelected, which is why we got to do what? Vote, 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 vote to keep that man out of office.
Vote.
Right? In all departments and agencies, let's go back. In all departments and agencies have created equity plans to carry out these invidious schemes to reverse this trend. The next conservative administration should, and he lists some of the things that he believes that Trump or whatever conservative administration should do. Ensure that the DOJ spearheads an initiative demonstrating the federal government's commitment to non-discrimination. Well, non-discrimination is good. But instead of focusing on the federal government's commitment to non-discrimination, what you need to be doing is using the resources of the Department of Justice to eliminate this discrimination out in the nation. Instead of focusing on trying to make the Department of Justice non-discriminatory. In other words, all that means is instead of trying to make the Department of Justice stop going after white supremacy, you need to get outside the Department of Justice, go out into these states and cities and towns and do everything you can and use the resources at your disposal to help us eliminate white supremacy. That's what the Department of Justice, right? Listen to the name. That's what the Department of Justice ought to be doing. Not trying to stop efforts to end white supremacy, but focused on ending white supremacy. This is not a Department of Justice that is going to be friendly toward African Americans. In fact, this Department of Justice, this Trump Department of Justice, is going to be very hostile to African Americans. Opportunity Commission, the Departments of Defense, Education, and Housing and Urban Development, and the Securities and Exchange Commission. It will also require enforcing contractual requirements that prohibit discrimination on federal contractors. So what we see here in this first part of this video is the Department of Justice will experience significant changes if Trump gets in office. And they're going to essentially not use the resources of the Department of Justice to fight white supremacy and systemic racism and racial discrimination, and to take on these cases when blacks have been murdered by white vigilantes and rogue police officers, racist police officers. They're not going to be using the DOJ for those kinds of cases. They're actually going to be using the DOJ to wage this bogus fight against reverse discrimination. That's what they're doing out in the private world. So you can just look for the Department of Justice to become an agency that's going to file a whole lot of lawsuits against a lot of corporations alleging reverse discrimination. In other words, that whites are being discriminated against. All of a sudden, whites are now the victims. All of a sudden, white men.
I want y'all to know, I'm gonna bring this up real close. I want y'all to know, and again, my lips ain't white, it's Vaseline on my lips. And I'm gonna look y'all in your eye. Y'all would never ever be able to walk in our shoes and survive as long as we have. It would never happen. The fact that the sun kisses our skin and burns yours says something. It's like some vampire shit, if you ask me. Now that you are experiencing, now that you are on the receiving end of your bullshit, energetically, now all of a sudden it's reverse racism. Wouldn't this be the time to be like, okay, you know what? I understand now. But again, when you're privileged, it doesn't matter. I'm exempt. I'm exempt. It doesn't happen to me. It don't happen to me. And it'd be a lot of people who think that shit, and then life happens to them and gag the fuck out of them. And a lot of people about to get gagged. Some of y'all better learn some gay shit, girl. And learn how to train your damn throat. In my YB voice. You open up your throat. Okay?
And are now the victims. Yet white men owned practically everything in this country.
Right.
Most of the wealth. Black Americans own less than 4% of the wealth in this nation. Yet white men suddenly are the victims. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. White men suddenly, if you listen to Trump, he is the most victimized person in the world. Yet when we talk about real discrimination, real white supremacy that we're dealing with, then they want to call us playing the victim card. Yet they claim to be victims more than anyone.
I told you.
And are ready to use the Department of Justice to wage this bogus fight against reverse discrimination. So that's one thing that the Department of Justice will do under a Trump administration. But it's not the only thing. A new Trump administration will also use the DOJ to punish Americans who attempted to hold Trump accountable, such as Jake Smith, Alvin Bragg, Fonnie Willis, Judge Merchan, Judge Chutkan, etc. And everybody in between. I mean, Trump has already said it. I mean, he's literally already said that he intends to be a dictator on day one. I mean, he admitted it. And yet folks are talking about Project 2025 is bogus. It's a hoax. It's a scare tactic. Are you serious? Project 2025 is implementing a fascist, autocratic regime in this country. They're not ashamed of it. Stop listening to these folks who are telling you, misleading you, and trying to tell you that your eyes are lying to you. I mean, you're reading it, you're seeing it for yourselves, and yet they're saying it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing. So again, the Trump administration
you gonna believe me or your lying eyes?
The DOJ against everybody who calls Trump any accountability whatsoever. Let's look at that a little bit, because what you're about to see here is going to be shocking. So People magazine ran an article entitled Trump's Rumored AG Candidate Warns of Retaliation Against Liberal Prosecutors, Judges, Witnesses, and quote,
That's rumored.
go to hell.
Still got to be verified for me, but I understand.
His name is Mike Davis of Texas, right here in my home state. So here's some of the things that Mr. Davis says. Attorney Mike Davis, the founder of an organization advocating for conservative judicial nominees, said in an interview on Benny Johnson's YouTube channel that if Trump is elected to a second term, there will be, quote, severe, close quote, consequences for those involved in the criminal charges against the former president, including Justice Department Special Counsel Jack Smith.
Wow, so it's a quote?
So this is the man that is rumored to be Trump's pick to be AG. Now, whether Trump picks this man or picks somebody else, they must still have this kind of fervor to go after Trump's so-called enemies. If not, Trump's not going to pick him. He's not going to have another Bill Barr or James Comey. No, he wants somebody who is just as unhinged as he is.
Loyal.
All right?
Cultist, as it was said in the last
So
video.
this goes on to say, and guess what, guys? There are going to be severe legal, political, and financial consequences. We are not going to turn the other cheek. They can go to hell, he added. This sounds like Russia. This sounds like a third world country. This sounds like some sort of banana republic. This sounds like autocracy. This sounds like a dictatorship. This sounds like North Korea. This sounds like China. This sounds like people can disappear, just disappear into black holes, their families never to see them again. With someone as unhinged as Donald Trump is, and as Mike Davis sounds. And do keep in mind that Trump has absolute immunity. So all he got to say is, I was doing an official act when I instructed A.G. Davis to go after these prosecutors. And those 6 conservative Supreme Court justices will likely agree with him and put him in a position where he couldn't be prosecuted, although he ordered murders. That's where we are. This is not a hoax. This is real. The only thing preventing it is us voters getting out, including us African-American voters, getting out and voting. I looked at some data. Last night. In the 2016 presidential election, only 56.9% of African-American people voted. Wow. And that played a part in Trump taking office in 2016. We can't have almost half of African-American people voting the couch, because we always experience the ouch when we vote the couch. I thought I'd put out a little bar right there.
That's just being bored.
Ouch. I voted the couch because that's what happens.
Ouch,
you vote
the couch.
You give them the opportunity to tighten that rope up tighter, to tighten it up around our necks just a little bit tighter while we voted the couch. And some folks justify that by saying, well, until we get reparations, until we get tangibles. And we definitely should be fighting for reparations and tangibles.
Hell yeah.
But we don't stop voting contingent on getting reparations. We vote to get reparations. We vote to get the tangibles. We don't sit home with our arms crossed saying, I'm not going to vote until I get tangibles, until I get reparations. That to me sounds like an insidious scheme and plot of our enemy.
Insidious.
To tell African Americans not to vote until they receive the very thing that voting will produce. Why do I say that? Well, think about it. In order to get the tangibles and the reparations, We got to have the right people in office on all levels, the federal, the state, and the local level. There are some states, there are some local governments that are seriously considering reparations, only because the constituents of those local areas and states and so on were able to get people in positions of power so that those people could vote favorably for reparations.
And they don't want that.
I don't understand
That's
why
the
anyone
unholy alliance
would tell Black Americans not to vote until they get reparations, knowing that reparations will be contingent on Congress, who controls the purse strings of this country, until Congress votes on that and acts a law awarding African Americans reparations. Well, who is Congress made of? Elected representatives. How do those people get elected? Because we vote. This is logical.
Right.
And not voting until we get reparations is completely illogical. It's like saying, let me think of an illustration. It's like saying, I won't put my shoes on until I start walking. That's backwards. You put your shoes on first, and then you walk.
Yeah, but no shade. I ain't put my shoes on unless I'm about to go outside and walk. I get what you're saying, but it's like the same thing. It's like, I'm going to take these shoes off if I'm sitting down. I'll put them on, I'm getting ready to go walk. Or I'll walk barefoot. But I get what you were saying. But that just jumped out at me.
You don't sit down and say, I'm not going to put on my shoes until I start walking. Have you ever tried to put your shoes on while you're walking? It doesn't work that way.
I'm sure somebody can.
We got to vote, and not just 56.9% of us. We got to vote overwhelmingly to get the right people in place to pass a reparations bill. And
on top of that, Black people are going to have to do a better job at being more politically minded and being more about community and building a monolith. That 60s and 70s energy, we're going to have to remix the fuck out that shit and bring it to they're bringing their 60s and 70s in their 80s. We're bringing our 60s and 70s, and we're going to manifest what our 80s looks like. We're going to manifest that. But we got to put in the work for that to happen. We've lost the steam. We need to find that steam, and it's sad. The only time we find that steam is when it's time to vote. We've been hearing for the longest time, especially in the early 2000s. Vote or die. Vote or die. Vote or die. When shit gonna change? And we gotta be worried about that. That means we gotta start holding other Black people accountable. All these Black celebrities with billions of dollars, why are y'all not helping the Black community? And it's the culture of Blackness that is keeping you where you're at. And you got it from us. So you're low-key kind of nigga washing like you did a whitewashing girl. You're going to have to give people their dues. Where is the motherfuckers who left the hood, who got millions of dollars now, taking a certain percentage of their money? It ain't got to be the whole thing, girl. It could be 10% like the church, girl. Take the 10% of y'all money and give back to Black communities. Do you know how much Black lives can change? And you would have played a part in that. But if you do that, you'll lose all your shit, because your shit a lot of the time is not even yours. You sold your soul to get that shit, so you can't even motherfucking change the shit if you want to, or be willing to take an ego death and lose your shit because you're willing to help other people. And exactly, Rewind, I just said in my little group chat on Instagram that yes, they're going to try to find a way to idolize him even more and turn him into a savior, that we have to really, the enemy is strong, the devil is really busy and real right now, we have to stand strong and protect him. Now we have to put on the whole armor of God, even though nobody got up and did shit. Ain't nobody ran, ain't nobody started praying, ain't nobody returned fire. Girl, we're seeing who the cult is. we're seeing who the cult people really are. Oh shit.
Give us the tangibles. 56.9% won't do it. And let me just say, you have folks out here who are saying, well, the Democrats have done nothing for blacks, which is total garbage. It's false. It's not true. But even if it were true, it is because we don't vote. You cannot, 56.9% of us can't vote, and half of us, the other half stays home, and then say, well, they don't never do nothing for me. Yeah, because you have not made your power felt yet. You've not.
Well, my thing is, and I'm gonna have to give a little resistance, I guess, in my rebellious youth mind, if you will, because I'm already built like a leprechaun. There has to be a manifestation of getting over the hump. The fact that we're having the same conversations is irritating. There has to be a growth and a new way of thinking. We can learn from the past and find a new way to deal with it. We cannot do the same thing that we've been doing. They're counting on that. I wish I could find that video where there was a black delegation of people from all different aspects of African experiences came together, African American, and talked about what we should do. We need more of that. Because if that was the case, we would have gotten over the hump. And like I said, this is the last year I am voting Democrat. There has to be a way for a new path of real, genuine American people. But to his point, if Trump ass wins this election, there is a very huge and overwhelming possibility that his authoritarian, totalitarian, dictatorship, regime type of shit that he wants to do can manifest, because he hanging around motherfuckers who already doing that. He idolized motherfuckers who already doing that, and he probably be asking them in private, how you do this? But my thing is, Donald Trump, I don't even know why you asking how you do this, because you benefit from individuals who did this shit first. At least over here in America. You have a billionaire that's trying to become a president who cares nothing about the people. He literally just said that he's distancing himself away from Project 2023 because of schematics and how it looks and shit.
Raise your voice yet. You've not used the tools that our ancestors died to give us. In fact, some of these folks curse the ancestors who died for us to have the vote. Like, for example, Dr. King and Medgar Evers got shot in the back. Dr. King got shot through his jaw, working to empower poor African-American men, working to get black folks in a position to vote. I can see Reverend C.T. Vivian getting punched in his nose by a white racist to get black folks in a position to vote. And some of these YouTubers disrespect these people. I mean, they clown them. They say terrible things about them. It's mind-boggling. I'll never understand it. And they may say, yes, well, that's because you're old and we represent the new school. No, you represent the new fools. That's what you represent, the new fools.
And in a sense, I can understand that. But where are the wise old people? Because the wise old people wouldn't be saying to do the exact same thing. And I heard this saying, I'm not saying this about him, but people, there are other people on certain platforms who have shared the same sentiment, so not against him. But again, I will receive and allow critique to happen from someone who is wise that is older than me, but I will not submit to an old fool. Now, when he says new fools, it's just that Now y'all gonna go through what I went through or what we went through. Y'all thought y'all was gonna get free too? Nope. When you should be praying and hoping and affirming the youth to say, yes, you can. You can do better than us. You can have more than us. But that's why there's going to have to be a part of the youth that they're going to have to discover without your help. You can only do so much. They have to find it within themselves. It took me in 2020 to like up till now to find my own voice. I had other people around me who I loved and I appreciated, but their voices were louder than my own voice. I had to step away. I had to go into this hermit phase. I had to really go into studying and learning about myself and hearing my own voice so that in these troubling times I can stand in who I am. Because I feel, if you ask me, and it's going to scare a lot of y'all, but I'm just preparing myself for it. Trump ass, I feel like most likely is going to win. He's going to win. And I feel, no shade, that is when my YouTube channel is going to grow. But see, YouTube is just a training thing for me. My real goal is to use my awareness and my knowledge and put them into forms of art, media, whether that be film, TV shows, and music. And I plan on utilizing all three of those elements. And the way that my shit in my mind is going to be set up, girl, I'm going to scare a lot of people. I told y'all one of my favorite movies is Tales from the Hood, girl. It's going to be Tales from the Hood over level 9,000, girl. I've already questioned my mortality. It's about to be a whole mortality conversation, girl. For real, for real. I'm going to have black people mad for a minute. And then once we work out the black shit, then we going to go ahead and deal with the oppressors, girl. We got to deal with ourselves first. We got to work on ourselves first before we do anything else. Because these people already have our end already created for us. This has been plans in the making. And on top of it, like I said earlier, in order for a spell or a curse or for someone else's will to be imposed upon you to where you go about it, there has to be elements of truth there. They have to show you certain things that are true. It's called things hidden in plain sight. You subconsciously, the energetic part of you has to feed into that. And your fear feeds into it, which is why we have to dilute the fear factually. Not just say, oh, we're going to be okay. Oh, it's a fear tactic. No. You survived the onslaught. A lot of other people didn't. A lot of families were destroyed in the 80s by the crack epidemic. If you ask me, they literally said that the U.S. government had a place in that to destabilize the advancement of black people. AIDS came out that, if you ask me, was something that was conspired by the government or created by the government to silence the queer community. And if it was exclusively for gay people, only gay people would be getting it and not heterosexual people either. Women were able to get their ass beat and raped and all that shit again and forced back into that shit. And you think people want to bring children into this world so that they can continue this cycle that you are afraid of, that you can't escape? That's why Christ kept telling y'all by the renewing of your mind, which means dying unto the self, which means facing your mortality. And once you face your mortality, you'll start living for real, stop bullshitting.
We gotta vote.
And teaching your future generations
Why
to
do you
bullshit.
think they work so hard to keep us from voting? And why do you think our ancestors worked so hard to get us the right to vote? They had to face the KKK. They had to risk dying, risk being lynched.
And I hate that argument, Twan.
To get us that precious right. Something John Lewis called almost sacred.
And if we're going to play that game, then I need to understand, then I need the black community to forgive Obama for giving rights to queer people. If it's going to be lesser than the two evils situation. I think that's the reason why a lot of blackness hate queerness now the way it does. Because Obama chose them over us, even though we're queer. That queer right does not fall down on us. It falls down on white queers. They gonna make sure they have all the whiteness covered, girl. Rwan says, yep, not to just silence us, but to further demonize us, to make it more believable that we are mentally ill. And then again, you know what you do with the mentally ill people.
Stop listening to these people.
They have to be removed.
Get your entertainment from them. But don't listen to these folks who knows very little about our political process.
That part, thank you.
The ancestors had it right. In this democracy, this democratic republic, the right to vote is almost sacred.
They want it to be, it's supposed to be a democratic republic where it's a blending of those things. Even Mr. Bennett said, there's always, the solution in history has always been a blending of things, the good things about each other. And to highlight that, we're in that literal cycle, yet we're not learning. And boy, crazy, I do agree with you say, if Trump gets in office, he will be the last president of the United States of America and the first dictator of America. I told y'all, remember I showed y'all that clip of Far Cry 5, the Division games, all this shit, all this post-apocalyptic shit that has been shown and shit again, hidden in plain sight. They got to find a way to tell it to you where they're getting these ideas from, because they're implementing these things. And they're playing in front of our faces. Rwan says, black people swear we have more protection, but the anti-discrimination bills protect black people too. We in the twilight zone for real, for real.
And it's the way that we get to the reparations. All right, let's go back. This man says, and then just on a practical level, we don't vote, this man gets in office. This man is able to sit in the Attorney General's office and do all this stupid stuff. He says, during my 3-week reign of terror, as Trump acting Attorney General, before I get chased out of town with my Trump pardon, I will rain hell on Washington, D.C. David said on the Benny Show in September, I have 5 lists ready to go, and they're growing. First, he said he would fire, quote, a lot of people in the executive branch, close quote. And I'm telling you, that's a lot of black people, which he called the deep state. Then we're going to indict Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and James Biden and every other scumball, sleazeball Biden, he continued.
But y'all won't even
we're going to deport a lot of people, 10 million people and growing. Anchor babies, their parents, their grandparents. We're going to put kids in cages. It's going to be glorious, he said of his third objective. This is what this man said out of his own mouth, and he is rumored to become Trump's Attorney General. If he feels this way about babies, children, parents, grandparents, imagine what he feels about African Americans. Just imagine. So we're gonna vote the couch? Only 50-something% of us are gonna go out and vote come November? And by the way, I don't care who the Democrats nominate. They could nominate Flavor Flav, Chuck D. It doesn't matter. Couldn't be no worse than Trump anyway. So I don't know how they're gonna.
Fuck that, no matter. Going forward, it needs to matter. This person got to be doing shit in the community. Enough of this shit. Motherfuckers are good at this. Bitch, how you walking in? Not you, sir, but I'm just speaking to my passion against people. When you gonna walk in your shit? When you gonna do what you say you do? Niggas already tired of niggas doing nigga shit to them. It has to be people in our own communities who are already doing this work. And then it's up to us to elevate them. Because this system is corrupt. And even when you get these people in there, even when there are people who become politically minded who are black, they are murdered. Murdered. You want your black babies to be murdered for fighting for truth? And I hate saying this, but I have to accept the objective reality of where things are going. There's a possibility there might be a target on my back. But see, my thing is, for me, I'm going to make sure that I prepare myself. Because I spent the majority of my life being bullied by a bunch of other motherfuckers, girl. You're not going to do it to me as an adult. And again, there are some of us who know things that y'all don't know. There are some of us who have faced fears that y'all are struggling to face, girl, who are willing to face even greater fears if that means accessing greater information and awareness. Because the blood of the ancestors, and I'm going to take this down because I'm ready to eat, girl. We're practically at the end of the shit. But like that says on the screen, the last shall be first and the first shall be last. It's just that time, girl. The death of the Mayan calendar means a new age is upon us. You don't have to always go down the same route. It can be different, and it should be different. The gag is we are always avoiding the difference in reference to inclusion because we so afraid of giving shit up that we can't even motherfucking take with us when we die in this bitch. But you want to hoard everything. Look at Amazon and all these other corporations who literally have chattel slavery for people to be overworked and underpaid. And we all know this. But we're going to have to do something different. And I'm talking about in the realm of the spirit. You ain't got to believe in it, baby, but it believes in you. You ain't got to believe in karma, but karma believes in you. And this, I feel like, is a karmic age, which is why, again, you have to learn to love yourself. Because it's not going to be just collectively. It's going to be subjectively, too. Michael Jackson told these motherfuckers, girl, look in the man in the mirror to make the change. You have to make that change. You have to do that. But we obviously see that there are people who are led by fucking fear. And there are so many expressions of fear to where it's like, wow. But love always is. So that even in the midst of chaos, you can still have a peace that passes all understanding. There are other people out here right now who are afraid. And I can join in with them on that fear. But I ain't going to hold you. For the longest time, and I hate to say this, I feel like a part of me was prepared for a moment like this. I always had a sense of urgency in my life. Maybe it's because I've been bullied. And maybe that was the universe, God, source, consciousness preparing me for this moment. Because in all actuality, from the highest level of awareness, with love being inclusive in everything, this is literally just a play. We're just invoking the play through the realm of humans. And since we're going down this road, I've always been like suppressive of my own gifts, of my own awareness, just to make other people feel good about themselves. I was okay with being behind the background and affirming other people, and that being enough when I have so much light inside of me that this world also needs to see. And I was always so afraid of what people were going to think about me, what they were going to say about me, how they were going to judge me. And thinking that if I walk in my truth, what happened to me when I was younger, as far as being bullied for a big part of my youth, was going to happen for the rest of my life. I am a 33-year-old gay leprechaun who is intelligent, who is always on the quest and thirst for knowledge. I'm not going to know everything there is to know about the world, but I'm going to know everything I need to know about BubzDaGawd, and that's also about protection. And I'm going to start holding black people accountable. If you support this white Christian religion that literally enslaved your ancestors, you are also playing into the problem. And I hope y'all prepared for how the ancestors are going to deal with y'all asses. But anyway, I want to come through with this impromptu live. I'm about to throw this fries and get jumbo shrimp in the air fryer, okay, and put something on my stomach, okay, because I ain't eating all day. I had to come home and do this. That's why my shit all wrinkly and shit. It was just I had to throw something on. But shout out to y'all being in the building. Please make sure you hit the like button to help this channel grow in the algorithms, okay? We're down at 812. We fluctuate between 810 and 813, so hopefully we'll break it. But you liking the video helps even the odds or create greater odds for my channel to grow on the road to 1K. If you like what you hear on BubzDaGawd, please make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you can stay up to date with all of my lives and my edited videos. I ask that you please share my videos in spaces and places where you feel that conversations can be generated from. Okay, please do that. We have to get the word out there. This is the time for humanity to come together, because we always say it's a dark time, it's a dark time. No, it's about to be dark time, girl. Y'all talking about end times, girl. We are here. Y'all wanted it. Y'all put y'all fear into it, girl. We try to dilute that fear, and now we've collectively manifested the fear narrative. So now we have to do something about it. Okay, so make sure you share it, and if you feel compelled, definitely hit that Cash App at the bottom of the screen, $signs BubzDaGawd. We take anything that jingles and folds, baby, okay, because we're also putting in that work. And again, my gifts and talents will make way for me, and I'm starting to accept that, okay? No shade. Shout out to Rawan in the building. Shout out to Boy Crazy in the building. Shout out to Queen Spicy in the building. Shout out to Deshaun, to Queen Stevie. Shout out to Prophet. Shout out to I think that Baby Faith. Shout out to you. It's been a minute. Shout out to Michael Wade. Shout out to you. Fight the Evil Robot. Shout out to you. Shout out to Harold in the building. Queen Donna B. Shout out to everybody in the replay gang. Shout out to those that were in the bushes. Okay. And I will be seeing you guys at 10 o'clock tonight for the season finale review, 2-episode review of Surviving 305. I will not be visual, okay? I'm gonna be comfortable. It will be audio, and we're gonna go ahead and find the time to laugh in the midst of what's about to come, because you need a balance of that in your life, okay? No shade. You don't want to be too earthly minded that you're no heavily minded that you're no earthly good. Like, let's be balanced, okay? So anyway, thank y'all so much for rocking with me, and until 10 o'clock, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Peace.